Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Psalms. Good morning, Renaissance. Good morning, Bud Files. Thanks for popping in. Just going to give a few minutes for the notifications to go out. Good morning, Texas Lala. And give people a chance. I did put up the thumbnail at least 5 minutes earlier than usual. Give people some time. I'm not good at getting my stuff done ahead of time. I just don't have the discipline right now. But I'm working on it. So good morning, everybody. Hope everyone's having a great day. Had a good week. It's been a busy week over here. Busy, a lot of stuff in the garden. I took a couple of days off to get the garage cleaned out. It's not finished, but it's much better than it once was. And some stuff around the property, get the backyard more sorted out. Still a lot of work to do in the backyard, but some of those things that can't be removed until certain projects are started and completed. And then once it's complete, we can throw out any excess materials that we don't necessarily need. We got some secondhand flooring, so I want to do something in the chicken coop. But as I said to them, if you don't get it done this summer, then I'm throwing it all the stuff out because I can't keep having the place cluttered. As you know, there's predators, there's vermin, there's other things to worry about, and these projects need to be completed. I'm just drinking some green tea. Black, no sugar, no nothing on it, just green tea. So that's what's going on over here. So yeah, but it was still very busy. Even though you take a day off here and there, your day is so full of stuff. It's like you want to fill the whole week in one day, and it's impossible, but you still try. So I got a lot done though. I got a lot of stuff up potted even last week. I have a few more tomatoes to up pot. I didn't have any room. Good morning, Cece. So I got some help yesterday. My sister came help me with the garage, and then she helped me transplant things outside. We did a couple of things direct sow, which direct sowed some things. So now I have a tray with a bit more room so I can up pot those tomatoes so that they can the roots are all through the pod, like long roots. So I'm gonna have to gently take off the membrane or leave the membrane on. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, it's going well. It's just the garage now. There's a few things that I found that I didn't remember that I had, which is not surprising. Happens to all of us. But I went to the back. My sister went to the back of the garage. She took out all the plants that I had back there. So the two lemongrass, my canna lilies and the calla lilies, the dahlias, and a few things. So those pots are now out. It's been very chilly still, so I would have taken them out already, but yeah, it has to come out now. And they've been watered a bit with the rainwater, but it's going to be raining, I think, again in a couple of days, so they'll get a good saturation to get themselves going. But I do see some stuff coming through the soil. They're growing again. Lemongrass, I'm not too sure. We'll see. Yeah, lemongrass. That was my first time. I didn't grow it. I bought it from the nursery. My first time seeing it in several years. We used to see it all the time, and then when we wanted to get some for the last 3 or 4 years, can't find lemongrass nowhere. Last season, I found it at a clearance. They were clearing out the garden center, and I got 2 plants. And I have the dried grass here in a jar, and I use it for tea. Oh my goodness. Fantastic. You can't compete with when you grow it yourself and it's so much fresher, and then you can vacuum seal it versus just leaving it, in a tea bag. It just kind of loses its potency. Fantastic. So I'm hoping the roots survived. The pots were well watered, but now that I brought them out, it's dry to a crisp because I can't go back there and water in the garage. Next year, I'm going to put some kind of tray on the bottom there. So if I water the top one, it'll run down. But I couldn't do that. I have fabric back there and other things back there. My lemon balm did survive. I'm going to do a video today, maybe just showing the current state of the garden, what was planted so far. I'm in a cold climate, shorter season, so it's going to just fly right by. But some of the cilantro is okay. The parsley, But some of the herbs, I'm gonna see if they survive. The rosemary is still alive. It's crispy, but I'm not sure if it's gonna push out new growth. We'll see. I took out all the fig trees last Saturday. It was fine outside, and then another cold man. So some of the leaves fell off. They were pretty much probably in shock, but it is what it is. The growth in the garage from those particular plants wasn't the best growth. Hey, good morning, Odom. It was stringy, the light wasn't good, so the growth wasn't really growth. So if it blew off in the wind because of the cold front, that's fine. It'll now push out stronger growth. Let me just see what the chat's saying because I'm just going on. Yeah, I have some seeds too. I've never grown it. I think it's too late for me to drop seeds for lemongrass, to be honest, unless I keep it in the house. So I'm gonna have to figure out. I know it takes a long time, but I can get some lemongrass from the Asian stores and put it in water to seed. So I might try that. I never see lemongrass here, plants or seeds. So I grow lemon balm. I'm surprised you don't see lemongrass because you're in a warmer climate than I am. Maybe some of the other neighboring states might have it. Good morning, Virginia, because I know you guys have lemongrass. I know it's a tropical plant, but we get it here in Toronto, and you done know we don't have a tropical climate. So maybe you have to just check the Asian stores, and you can root it from their real lemongrass. Rosemary should come back. Mine's crispy, but I was gonna harvest it, but my sister goes, "Oh no, leave it." But I'm like, I'm gonna have to harvest it because you can't wash your bush when it's dry because the dirt is just like infused to it. Um, my rosemary, I have to replant. I don't think it. Yeah, rosemary is very finicky. The one thing I do know is that don't bring it in the house. I haven't seen it survive in a house ever, unless you're in the tropics. Every time it died in the garage, I thought it would die. It's still kicking. It likes to be out and capture moisture from the air. It doesn't want to be in a static house with just no breeze. It likes to be outside. So this is the first time my rosemary did not die. And I've planted seeds. Yeah, wash your bush. I know that didn't sound right. When I said it, I'm like, it didn't sound too right. We call everything bush tea. Like we don't name the bush. We just say, give me some bush for go make tea. That means could mean a million things. Could mean lemongrass, peppermint, something, black mint, spear. It could mean a myriad of things. We just say bush. But yeah, but you should wash your bush. You should wash your bush. Let me see what I bought some carrots and tomato seeds first time ever. Going to take the dive into trying to grow something. Tomatoes are pretty easy. Carrots are easy, but sometimes there's a issue with germination. So make sure you wherever you're going to plant the carrots, make sure it's well watered first because you cannot let it dry out. Sprinkle your seeds, and you can either cover it with a cardboard and just check on it every few days. And once you see something germinating, you can remove the cardboard, or you can get like some kind of what they call a cloche, like a plastic, greenhouse topper, a big water bottle. You can buy them from the dollar store to keep it moist. Carrot seeds cannot dry out, otherwise you will not get any germination. I covered mine with cardboard, and I had good success based on watching other people, and it works. Once it's germinated, you might have to cover it. I have squirrels who are wicked over here, and they'll be digging up whatever, and they'll just send you right back to the beginning. And I have such a short season, I don't have time for them to be digging up my stuff. Yes, with soap, Sam, with soap. You're gonna name your bush. Well, Tabitha Brown names her hair Donna. So yep, you can name stuff. So I have ordered my seed seeds from MI Gardner. They were shipped on Wednesday, so they should be coming to my delivery address Monday, I hope, because I saw this last scan. It's in Toronto. And most of the stuff. Good morning, Tamika. Good morning. Did I miss anybody else? If I missed you, I'm. Oh, good morning, Laura's Garden. I think I got everybody. If I missed you, excuse me. I didn't catch your name when you came in. I ordered some seeds. Let me just go to a few things. I'm not going to go into all of it because I'm going to do a mail call and I'll do a short video on that. But I ordered 13 things. The one thing I am looking forward to, or the two things that I will mention, the rest I'll leave for the video. I'm getting American spinach, which is supposed to be a slow bolting spinach. I did plant some giant noble spinach yesterday, but spinach, it likes a cool climate. Once it gets a little warmer, it's gone to seed. So I'm hoping the American spinach will last for the entire summer. If it does, that's something that we can grow at my garden and my parents' house garden because we enjoy spinach. We like it in salads. We like it cooked with, your steamed vegetables. I like to put it in smoothies and even my green juices. So it's something that I want to stop buying from the store. So hopefully this is a truly slow bolting spinach. Well, yours didn't grow, Cece? Uh-oh. And I got the Space Master cucumber, which is a bush cucumber. I'm trying to get things that are not vining. I have a trellis for it, but I just don't want to have crops that require trellising. For me, I think I can grow more in my urban garden with bush varieties. But I will plant the usual cucumbers. I think it's like the pickling one and another one. I will plant it, not because I expect to eat the cucumbers, but more so I do have to plant a few things that are decoys that other animals can eat so that they stay away from what I really want. So it didn't germinate at all? But maybe, I don't know. I know that likes to germinate in a cooler setting. Maybe that's why. They come back with names like CC Blueberry, Nanking Cherry. Let me see. Okay. So this week, they called it As the Garden Egg Turns because it's like a Saturday soap opera. I have my notes so I can remember. So on Sunday, I went to church, driving to church, and I nearly got killed by a goose. Good morning, Brampton. Speaking of Brampton, I saw a posting yesterday that you shared. Send me an Instagram. Where are you guys meeting? Because I might be able to pop in, even though I'm invited myself. Let me know. Let me know because I might be able to meet you all at depending on where you're meeting on the time. I know okay. I don't know if you want to name the location, the town, if it's a private thing. Oh, you're going to downtown. Oh, okay. You're right in the core. Okay. What's the time, Brampton? If I come, then I'll take the subway. I'm not driving down there. I can't take the downtown driving. I'll park at Yorkdale or something and go down. But I'll send you a Instagram if I'm en route, so you guys will know. Either way, okay. So the Union Station, 6:15 to 6:30. We're meeting in the lobby at the Fairmont. I don't know I know where the Fairmont is, but I don't think I've driven by it. But okay, it must be around there. I know Union Station. The only thing I know just off of memory is that triangular building. There's a triangular building a bit Birdsey Park, kind of to the right. The main artery going to the Gardner, the Union Station's to the right. So yeah, there's something around there. It's right across. Okay, that's it. Front Street. Okay, I kind of know the area, but I haven't been there in a long time. Good morning, Carbon. I haven't been down there in a long time. I went to school down there, so I was down in Toronto for like 4 to 5 years. So I just don't recall some of the landmarks and the street names anymore. Okay, so I almost got killed by a goose. Literally. Driving, minding my business. And I guess the goose must have been overweight. He had a hard time accelerating and he had a hard time ascending into the air. He was just horizontal. And I'm like, and he's literally gonna fly into me, into the vehicle, that is, not me, but into the vehicle. And gooses are kind of tough birds. Like they'll probably smash your window, your windshield, something like, no, man. So I had to take my foot off the gas, kind of do a little swerve so that we kind of danced around each other. And I don't know what he was trying to do because he wasn't going into the sky. He was too heavy and had a hard time. I don't know why. Usually birds are smarter. Geese over here are pretty smart. They kind of go along with the roadway and they kind of run and get a jump and then they start to fly. They don't start to try to fly perpendicular to the street to kind of hit cars. He wasn't too bright of a goose. But anyways, I got around him, he got around me, and we're still here today. But man, I'm like, really? Try to kill me? Okay, I'm just trying to read up the chat. Wouldn't it taste like duck? I've never eaten goose, but I wouldn't have a problem eating geese, goose, whatever you want to call it. They're not very nice. Okay, yeah, I saw it from your post, Brampton. That's what I happened to see it on my feed. I didn't see. I know I have Scott I subscribed to him, but it didn't pull up from him. You scroll down. People just saying, hey. No, that goose. You know, a bird's heavy if he can't, climb. He's not going higher. He's just going across, and he's struggling. So, anyways, I made it. Didn't, there was no accident. We're at a point right now that we don't want any. I don't want any damage to my vehicle. It's expensive enough over here. Yeah, it's expensive. My daughter has a pic of a goose at her school. She's nested in front of the flower box. Yeah, you can't play. This goose will chase you down and they will twist your flesh. They will grab you and twist. They don't play. When they nest, anywhere they nest, I'm not going to be around there. Another door to get her mall because they were. Yep. Don't play around geese. They are not nice. And I have a robin's nest in the tree here. Every time I go to the back, he's flying and looking at what I'm doing. Like, yeah, I'm going to pass your nest every day because you put your nest right there, which is why I don't let you build nests on my house because you don't make no damn sense. It's gardening season. So nothing stopping me from getting into my garden. If you try it, well, I'm not going to say what happens because I don't want PETA coming for me, but So this year, more so than ever before, because I have chickens, I was outside all year long, so they couldn't get a jump on building a nest on the house. So they had to go into the tree. So they're in the tree between me and my neighbor, the cedar tree, which may not be a great spot because I think the animal that's been leaving manure under the tree is a cat. I saw a nice white fluffy cat pass by the front door. It didn't see me. And I think the cat is using my tree as a litter box. So I sprayed it with ammonia the other day, put some more pepper down. Last night I see holes, like something came in, like stirring up the place. So I'm going to put some more. I'm going to put some spikes down there and some more stuff. I don't mind people letting their cats out, but listen, this is not a litter box over here. I'm not here to clean up after your damn cat. So yeah, something's going to have to give. Over here, the geese get at the zoo will pop up out the bushes. Oh yeah, birds are very territorial, understandably, because they are this is their nesting time. They're hatching out eggs or doing whatever. So they're very territorial. That's just natural. You guys got to be careful and don't think that because it's a bird, it has no arms, whatever. I can listen. Don't play around with them. Don't push them. They're very territorial. They'll swarm you at some point if you keep pissing them off. So mind your business and leave them alone. But yep, so I made it. Now the garage, go through a few points. Oh, let me drop the link as well. Sometimes I forget. Let me do it now before I forget. But I've never really had goose. I've never went to the store to buy goose. It's not something I'm against, but we've never eaten it. It's not like, oh, in Jamaica you have geese, we're gonna have jerk geese. It's not something that was ever on the menu. So, but I don't have a problem trying it. So yeah, the garage is pretty much better. I'm going to go through it section by section. I'm trying to get my life together because there's just too much stuff, too much clutter. I had a whole pile of things to shred. Unfortunately, several months ago, I mentioned a bottle of cooking oil or something leaked on something, and there's a lot of damage. So there was a book that I had that was actually a good book about home inspection and home maintenance. I had to just throw it out. So I took a picture of it. I'm gonna have to just repurchase it, rebuy it because it smells like rancid cooking oil. It's no point of keeping the book. Some important documents, I'm just gonna shred them because it's like whatever, they're already gone, and get the place cleaned up. But the mice, I've been in Canada forever, over 20 years, more than 20 years. My family emigrated from Jamaica to England. They were there for a while, and then we came here, and they had the other kids here as well too. Some people were born in Jamaica, some were born in England, some were born here in the same family. I know I've known geese to they'll attack you. If you look at them the wrong way, they'll attack you. Even if they're not nesting, they'll look at you the wrong way. They're very You have to be very mindful, even in parking lots. Be very mindful of anything, any animal, even some people's dogs. You'll be walking, minding your business, and all of a sudden, they just don't like the way you look that day, and they're just on you, biting at your. So just, I like to walk with a stick or an umbrella or something so that I can defend myself against an animal. Because I was chased down by a dog as a child going to school. That was horrible. I've never ran so fast in my life. I felt like I was like a track star, and I had an umbrella, and I had to. And the thing about it is, it was in their fenced yard, but it dug a hole so it can go under the fence and go into the field, the park area. So the owner probably didn't even know it was there, but I had to conk him in the head with the umbrella. I had no choice. It it would not bother you, but then one day it just said, "You know what? I don't like you." And third, and it was those small. I hate small dogs. It's not the big dogs; it's the small ones that are the worst. But yeah, back to my garage story. So that's being cleaned out. I don't know what I realized was I forgot that I left. I think I mentioned it last week. I forgot there was food in there by accident. I didn't think there was mice in there. There wasn't mice in there, but I guess the food that I brought that somebody gave me in a tote with no lid for the chickens, like the beans and stuff to use to feed them. I thought that attracted them. I forgot that I had it's like a bell that's made out of bird seed that's supposed to hang and they're supposed to peck at it. I forgot that was in the garage in a Dollarama bag, not put away properly. Didn't think I've never had mice before, but just takes a second. They find some food and that's it. So I have a handbag in the garage that I threw in there just to when I took stuff from my parents' house in a how you get handbags in a cloth pull string bag. Well, the pull string bag was full of droppings and stuff. We had to wear masks, go in there, go through stuff. The purse is okay, thank God. But I'm like, geez, like I'm gonna have to check all the totes of fabric, anything in the box. I'm gonna have to check because they can chew through the boxes. We put all the gardening stuff in my other shed at the back for gardening stuff, and we're gonna just get things organized because if I haven't used it in how long, it's just gonna be donated. If I don't need it, it's gonna be donated. If it's damaged, it's garbage. If it's boxes just holding to hold stuff, recycling, and we're just getting rid of this stuff. It's just too much. I'm sick of when you're just sick of the garage being like that. I'm sick of it. I want to put a grow tent in the garage. That's the whole point. So I can grow some other food in there and things that can overwinter in there. Carrots, things like that I didn't get to harvest in the fall that can finish off in the garage. Um, oh, so there was a live last night? I think okay. Okay, I guess I didn't get a notification. My aunt had a pet goose named Princess, and she was a vicious and goose. Yeah, geese are not very nice. They kind of are like donkeys because donkeys are good. They're very territorial as well, and farmers like to have donkeys because they will protect, their territory from even foxes and wolves. No, I think Laura did a live. Yeah, because I didn't get notified of anything. You had to pull. The only live I got notified of last night was I don't think Big Rooster went live either, did he? Because I and Tori Gina didn't go live. So I saw a couple, but I just didn't. I ended up watching people's videos because I didn't see anybody really live last night. I'm trying to recover from some daily footage of finding my panties. Wish me luck. Oh, glory. Don't you hate that? You do all that work to record and then it's gone. Now, I'm sure all of you heard about the gas prices over here went up 14 cents. Then the following day it went down 5 cents. So that's, I guess, 9 cents increase. Everybody went on Wednesday to go fill up their tanks. Wednesday, I was tired. It was cold. It was rainy. I wasn't about to go out again and go and because I was out during the day because I was running errands and I was off again and getting stuff done. I had forgotten about that. Had I known, I would have just done it when I was out. Came home. I wasn't going to go out to go fill up no gas. The gas, I heard my dad went to the Costco, the new Costco over here, and the line was wrapping around and around. So he filled up his tank and then he filled up his gas can for like the lawnmower and stuff. So he got his stuff. But to me, I don't see the point of running to go fill up your tank. Like, if the price is going up, okay, you get one last tank of gas at the original price. What about the rest of your tanks of gas? Like, the time and effort to line up, it didn't make sense to me. It didn't. Oh, Tampa Creek, it was a group. Okay, okay. Well, I'm subscribed to her too, so how come I didn't get notified? This platform is not notifying people because I only got notified of her one time. But anyways, it was a hot mess. We went to Costco on Wednesday, and the gas was yeah. To me, it's not. It doesn't make sense. Like, yeah, you're saving. What the thing to do was to maybe get gas the day before. Once it's like everybody running on the same day, forget it. So I need gas now. I'm gonna get gas now. I'm not gonna sit there for an hour just to save 14 cents. Yes, it's you're saving it, but it's not worth my time. I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Um, it didn't make any sense. If I had already planned and I knew, then I would have I didn't either, but I'm old. I'm telling you, 10 o'clock, me too. I was rolling in the bed snoring. Um, I went to bed early. Yeah, I did went to bed pretty early. Well, I was working like a dog yesterday, so I was tired. No, I went to bed about 10:30 because I locked up the girls late last night. I came home late. I had to run some errands. So yeah, so the gas is basically out when it's all said and done. It's 9 cents above what it was. It's the same prices that it was, they say, in 2022 or 21, end of 2021, during the peak of the mid of the pandemic. I don't know why the gas is up. I'm not watching the Economist whatchamacallit, the analysis, because from what they're saying, the barrel of oil's prices have gone down. So I don't know how they're justifying the rates. I know over here we're getting a carbon tax. That's nothing to do with the rates of the oil, but we're having a carbon tax, and this is what's happening here. But it's getting very expensive to fill your tank. And most of us weren't driving around, just driving around to drive around anyways, but it's expensive. Even the bus fare. I was gonna have to take the bus this week, but I didn't have to because my ride ended up coming. But they had me waiting. Oh, I forgot. I had to talk about my sleep. I did a sleep test on Monday night. They bumped me a few times, but finally Monday night I did my sleep test. And that was the worst sleep I've ever had. Like, all these strings on you, and then you're trying to I like to turn, and I couldn't turn, and I felt like something was yanking at me, and I got tangled up with the cables, and she had to come in at one point to reattach stuff. Like, I don't like sleeping with all these chains. It feels like chains. And then she had something on my leg. I'm like, then I had to ring the bell. I had to go to the bathroom. So she had to put all the cables and put some fandangle so I could get to the washroom. Got to the washroom, came back. I'm like, man. And then the blackout curtains weren't black enough. The the door wasn't soundproof enough so I can hear them typing and it was the worst sleep. So Tuesday I got up I was gonna take a nap. I said, forget it. I just kept going throughout my day, and then I went to bed early on Tuesday night because there was no point of going to sleep again because it just ruined the whole 24 hours. You're already fatigued and tired, dehydrated. I didn't drink a lot because I didn't want to have to go to the bathroom a lot because it's not my house where you can go to the bathroom. I had to walk down a hall, down around a bend to go to the bathroom. I'm like, it was horrendous. After all that, I have to wait till July to get the results of the doctor and see what is what. Well, I got the test done, so thank God that's something off my to-do list. So that can be once I get the results, I can figure out, if I do have sleep apnea or not. Maybe, I couldn't sleep, Brampton. It was worse. I slept. I don't remember sleeping. Like, sometimes you remember that you did fall asleep. I don't remember, but I know I did. But I didn't sleep soundly at all. I saw this illogical lady one time trying to fill up plastic. I saw that during some gas thing in the States. Like, are you dumb? Who puts gas in plastic bags? The gas will eat through the plastic. Like, it's just so dumb. Are people that dumb? Are you dumb? Didn't make no sense. From spring carbon tax. I'm telling you. So gas is hey, good morning, Canadian. So I have to make a stop today out of my way. So I'm gonna make 3 stops in that area. And then because I'm already going over there. But yeah, the gas ain't gassing. It's not going up. People are I know one time they're showing the same thing, Psalms and Canadian, they're putting gas in water bottles. I don't know much about gas, but I do know that you're supposed to put it in a gas can because it will corrode. So there's special either metal can, even the metal cans, or between gasoline, kerosene oil, lamp oil. There's certain things you cannot put them in just any little water bottle or whatever. It don't make no sense. It just people are dumb and they're very selfish, I find, because they don't want you to have the gas, so they want to have the gas, and then the gas is just gonna evaporate, and that's dumb. Don't make no sense. So I have two big gas cans. It wasn't worth my time going to the gas station, so I didn't go. But what I will do is what I should have been doing anyways, which we've talked about before. When you see a good price and you have a little extra money, just fill up a gas can because you're especially if you have a snow blower, you have, yard tools that are gas, you have a lawnmower and all these things, you're gonna use it. So don't wait until you need it. So my dad got his can filled, which is good. So he's okay for the season for the lawnmower, pretty much. He's good to go. Me, on the other hand, I have some gas from last season. I'm gonna have to get some more. When we exhale, we expel carbon. So taxing breathing is probably this is ridiculous. They're making it so, speaking on the gas prices and then inflation, it's so expensive to live. And I have to keep bringing it up every so often because I'm literally in shock. Those of you who have young kids or have kids at all, I don't have no kids. I don't know how you guys do it. I really don't know because, for instance, like when it comes to like self-care and beauty products, I usually go to warehouse sales and I'll buy like, body wash, lotion, shampoo, conditioner, those kind of things. And you buy like, you buy a few of them. So I don't really run out of those things. So I haven't bought them from a box store or a pharmacy or like a beauty, like a alt, like, those kind of stores here at Shoppers Drug Mart. Who we calling dumb? Dumb people. We're calling dumb people dumb, Nikki, because they dumb. And I went to the Shoppers Drug Mart yesterday to pick up a registered letter, go to the pharmacy, and she kind of reprimanded. I don't know, like these people are just so damn annoying, and making this whole thing about nothing. Like, just give me my damn something and let me leave. Anyways, I went to the beauty section, got some lotion. Just for one bottle of body lotion, it cost me $16. I said, what? And that was the most economical one to buy. I'm like, yep, I go to Winners too, but I haven't been to Winners in so long. I haven't been shopping since 2020, really, or 2019. I haven't bothered to go nowhere. The same clothes me did have, I hardly did wear them, so they look brand new still. They need to focus more on the forever chemicals and less on carbon. They need to keep out of people's business. The amount of money they're wasting on bureaucracy is just ridiculous. Don't get me started with them, the foolishness. Solution is easy. Stop voting for Spanky. Mm-hmm. There's no reason for it. But we all know that they want to push the electric vehicles, so that's what they're gonna do. But it cost me $16 for body lotion. I used to be, always buying beauty products. I kind of went away from that. So now I'm trying to get back and get myself looking like someone's child and stop having ashy skin. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go to Costco, I guess, because yeah, I don't usually buy those things at Costco because it's such a huge bottle. But yeah. Good morning, random jail. I'm gonna have to go to Costco. It's that, but when you think about how expensive that's why I used to always go shopping on Senior's Day, and I would go shopping with my dad because he's a senior. So we called it Bring a Senior Day because we would bring a senior and we would buy our stuff and pay for it. But because we had a senior there, we'd get the senior discount. So I'm gonna have to start doing that again because it's just too expensive. It's ridiculous. I don't know how you guys who have, multiple children really live. Oh, he's so condescending. Yeah, everything's expensive. Good morning, Miss Shirley. I went to the store and I'm looking at the prices. I'm looking at the flyers in my app. I'm looking at the newspapers that come here and seeing, what's on sale so you can plan your week. It's I don't know. Um it's a problem. That's all I can say. We know there's inflation. We've been talking about it, but it's even just to get basic stuff, it's very difficult. It's very challenging. It's concerning because people are over here. Sorry, my throat. Over here, people are getting a bit desperate, but not to the degree. But you can see it, like you can see it coming. You can see the chips and the chessboard and the plays being made, and you can see that people are going to become more desperate. What we did notice, what I mentioned already, is that in our neighborhood, there's a few houses, especially rental properties, that literally there's 20 people living in a house. And you might start finding that more and more often. People are just packing up like sardines in a home. And a lot of those people may have two jobs, so they kind of rotate. And we're going back to the times when my parents were in England, pretty much, because my dad had told me a story. But let me just catch up with the chat before I go into the story so I don't go too far behind. Um Shampoo was 99. Yep. My neighbor's mom got offended when she realized she'd only take her shopping on my neighbor's mom got offended when she realized she'd only take her shopping on Tuesdays. Rice and beans. Yep, I'm stocking up on rice and beans. I'm gonna start making my own soap. I know Lashes is making your own soap. And also it's better for your skin anyways. That's the point. So I'm trying to get off of chemicals, but it's getting really difficult. I'm finding, but I'm finding ways, but I'm sure other people are finding it very, very difficult. We have to buy our daughter's groceries to help with the two grandkids. It's gotten so expensive for young families. It's yeah, I'm not even exaggerating. It's gotten really bad, and I don't think there's anybody who's not affected. Never mind those who are already below the poverty line. It's not the same neighborhood. Yeah, and a lot of people are, and there's nothing wrong with living in a multi-family, multi-generational home. I have no problem with that. But I'm talking about overpopulating a home. A home could probably fit 5 people and they have 20 people. It's a lot. And what my parents had to endure, my parents, when they were in England, they were single and then, they got married, but they knew each other from back home. But the point is, when my dad was living single with my uncle, with his brother, and they're new immigrants to a new country, they had room sharing, and you would literally share a bed. You wouldn't have your own bed. So the one person would work day shift and the night shift person would be in the bed. and then you would switch. And the person who had to go work the night shift, the day shift person would come home, shower, whatever, whatever, and go sleep in the bed. I don't know if they switched sheets. I don't know how detailed, they didn't go into the details, but literally it's like you rented a room, you rented a bed, and you had a common washroom, like a dorming thing. And you had to keep clean and tidy because you're sharing a space with multiple people, and you had to share the bed. So if it was not your turn to be in the bed, suppose you had a day off or whatever, that wasn't your turn to be in the bed. If you decide to go take a day off, that person had to sleep. So you had to find something to do because you had one bed. Then they upgraded and got to another place where him and his brother could have their own little room, and then they shared a washroom. That's how they lived. They didn't have an apartment. You had a room, and you paid either by the week. Usually then it was by the week in those days. Nowadays, even here, people do weekly rentals. They don't do a monthly thing if it's room by room. That's how they lived, and they lived there happily until they could do better. And then I know my mom said when they were married and they had a room. They didn't have a house. My dad and my mom had a room. That's what they could afford. That's how people lived. So some of us have been spoiled. Good morning, Bayou. I don't know if I said hi to you. People think you come here. Oh, Tuesday, girl, bring a senior day. I'm telling you, it's what I have to do. It's what I have to do. My dad always asks, "What do we need?" But I want to go back to what we did before. No, we'll pay for it, Dad, and we'll buy what we need on Seniors Day. Because other than that, and the only good thing about Seniors Day over here is sometimes most places it's not 65, it's like 55 or 50. Something like that. So trust me. I use lard mostly, but this time I heard something recently on the gram about tallow, especially somebody's child, the eczema cleared up. I've been looking into it for over a year, but I just haven't gotten it yet. But I think tallow is something I'm looking into. Brampton at the park on the lot gets under my skin. Like you're just ruining the lot. But this is what people are doing. How low are we willing to go? Are you willing to live with multiple people just to get by, to survive? Because some people may not go to that extreme, but you may have to be willing to do some things. Can you use tallow with an herb to make balm? I've never made it, but I'm interested in doing it. Like I'm trying to get that machine, that Levo machine, to start using like the calendula. I can do it without the machine, but I just don't want to. I want it to be more. So the calendula to make some salves. I want to make some comfrey salves. My elbow has been hurting me, but the castor oil has been helping. Ginger shots. I want to do tallow and just have natural stuff to keep the skin moisturized. People had to survive, exactly. If I'm jumping from topic to topic, it's just one of those scatterbrain days. But how low are you willing to go? And you may have to be a little bit uncomfortable. So I know some people, they're renting out their basement now. They weren't really going to do that. But if you're an empty nester and you don't need the whole house anyways, I would recommend renovating or getting the basement set up as a separate entrance and whatever you got to do. I know a couple of people who've done that. A lot of them are either nearing retirement or retired. My coworker who retired last year was doing that. And I said, yes, make it and get some other income, get some more cash flow. Your kids are grown. They moved out. Why are you on this big old house? You don't want to move. You don't want to sell. So make that house earn you some income. Not enough room in the in the garbage bins. So bags of garbage. Yep. The parks have a lot of, and the bus stops have been full of garbage. I would say for over 10 years, I've been noticing this. I watch people leave their house with a bag of garbage and go to the bus stop and fill it over there. And the bus stop bins are not emptied regularly because you're not supposed to be filling it up like that. So they've removed most of the bus stop bins in our area. Like, and some of the houses I've seen here, I guess they went to the city and they have 2 recycling bins and 2 garbage bins. I guess they pay a little extra for a higher occupancy. They did it legitimately, and they have an extra bin and an extra of garbage and recycling, and it gets picked up. I need to start making my own soap, deodorant, dishwashing cubes, and laundry. Yes, for the price, and also it's better for your health because the chemicals in this crap aren't good. But it's difficult. It's very difficult, and I don't think people maybe have an ego about it. I don't have an ego about it. I had to call my cable company yesterday, internet cable, but I'll get there in a second. If I'm not mistaken, I think my book said that borage leaf was supposed to be good for the skin. I just bought borage. I haven't planted it yet. I'm juggling all the plants that I'm doing, never mind the ones that are coming next week. So I'm probably going to do borage maybe indoors, or I'll direct sow it next week. But calendula I know is good for the skin. That's why I'm growing it. But I have a book. I can check it as well. But if it is, let me know, Sam. And good morning, Gquat, Miss Ellen. So, but inflation's a problem. But I'm going to be jumping for a few things. But, give me a moment. So I called my cable internet company yesterday. Actually, I didn't call them. I talked to them on the AI, but we're typing back and forth. And I keep telling them, don't raise my prices. I can't afford it. I can't afford it. So I said again, listen here. You got to make time sometimes to call your companies and just plead your case and nag them until you get the price that you can afford. So they keep raising the price $5 here, $5 there, $5. But the service is not the best. And half the time I don't call to complain because I have to wait on hold for so long to complain about the bad service that you've taken up 2 hours of my life that I can't get back. So you just tolerate it. Called them, messaged them, whatever. I communicated with them yesterday. And I said, listen, you need to lower the price back to what I was paying from before. Oh, we don't have any specials. Find a special. Make up a special. Dig up one. We're like, this call is not going to finish until I get the price that I was paying. Taxes in. You're not going to say this plus tax. No, taxes in. This is my budget, and the wages have not gone up, and everything's more expensive. So you need to find something to do. Well, who else can I talk to? Give me your manager. Is there another department? No, there's no other department. Well, I guess it's you, honey, because you're going to fix the problem. So listen, girl, it's tough out in these streets here, and no one's going to be twerking for internet. So you got to find something for me to get that can give me a better price. Well, I'm sorry you're not having good service. I'm glad you're sorry. I don't have time to call you to complain every time. So what you going to do? So she found all of a sudden after about 20 minutes to maybe even 45 minutes, then she started finding stuff. Oh, because they want you to kind of give up. So let me just tell you, don't give up. You just need to say, this is the number I'm going to pay, taxes in. So, and I'm not lowering my service. So you better find some kind of fandangle to make it work. Because you make millions of dollars. You're in, a big company. You're the monopoly. Make it work. So she, okay, and she found something. She found something so good that I'm paying less than I paid 2 years ago. And if I want to raise the internet speed to a faster speed, it's $10 more, which is still cheaper than what I was paying. So if you have an ego and maybe you're proud and you're, oh, I don't want to be embarrassed, then you're not going to get nothing. So let me just tell you right now, I wasn't embarrassed to say, listen, I can't afford that. This is my budget. I got to make everything work in this budget. Internet, cable, your cell phones. I did the same thing with my cell phone company. And I said, I'm not getting off this phone until you give me this price and everything that is included. I want call display, the whole, I'm not lowering my service. And they were like, I called the credit card company. You can call them and get lower interest rate. They can give you a different interest rate. You just got to have time to sit there. So as soon as they open at 8 o'clock, I'm already at 7:59 dialing the number and I'm in the queue. And you got to have your breakfast early, have your tea or coffee or whatever, and have a drink handy because you're going to have to be willing to sit there for a bit or walk around and, cleaning whatever you're doing with your phone and get it done. Because if you don't do it, they will not offer you. They won't offer it to you. And they'll offer you something maybe a bit. No, I'm not twerking for no damn internet. These companies make trillions of dollars. Maybe maybe not trillions. And you have to sign, So I said, okay, no problem. I'll do a 2-year contract. Like I work from home. Like it's not an option. I need to have internet. So signing up for a 2-year contract is not a big deal to me. But you have to be willing to advocate for yourself and not feel embarrassed. That's just the way it is. And when you're embarrassed, you don't get the good prices. So the price was so good, to shock. So I might have to call my sister. Called for my dad's internet. Same thing. They got a better rate, and I'm just gonna make sure they got a good rate. And that's just the way it is. When you go to sometimes shopping, some people find it like, they're off put when you ask for a discount. I asked for a discount. All they can do is say no. All they can do is say no. When it comes to like face to face bartering, say no. Don't have to be rude about it. You don't have to be, undervalue the product, but just try and ask. I had to pay. Hold on. Its emollient qualities make it helpful for sore and inflamed skin. Prepared either as a fresh squeezed juice or as a poultice, an infusion. Okay, so that's the borage. Okay, thank you. So we're gonna have to make our own products ultimately. You don't have to do whatever you want, what works for you. But if you want good quality products, you want to heal skin ailments and not damage, children or grandchildren's skin, you're gonna have to find other ways to get these, because the prices for these chemically lotions, it was almost pretty much $20 for a bottle of body lotion, and that's not gonna last me all that long. I got ashy skin, so that's not gonna last all that long. So you have no shame. Yep. But some people are, oh, don't embarrass. No. So I've been waiting to get a key for my car. Some of you guys may remember, but I'll reiterate the gist of the story. My car is a stupid remote car. There is a key, but the key slides out of the remote in a way that there's no real handle on it. And the handle that was on it broke off. So literally it's a metal stick. I cannot put it in the ignition. The car is not reading the remote. It picks and chooses when it wants to read the remote. So I have to sit there sometimes before my car will read the remote before I can start it. This has been happening for over a year. I was going to get a key last fall. The dealer wants to sell you a remote, basically. That was $800 for one remote. My mechanic called a guy. He could give me 2 manual keys for $300. I was going to do it, but something said, nah. As soon as I didn't do it, all of a sudden it's like God said, okay, the car's going to work. So most of the winter, the car was no problem, was turning on. Only now it's acting a little funny. My tenant said, what's going on? I happened to mention to her about the key. She goes, oh, call this number. He gave me a key because she recently had to get a key for her car. Something happened. She had to get a new car and there was only one key. Anyways, she got a key. I texted this number. I said, listen, I got a number from so-and-so. Can you get a key for this car? Gave him the make and model, the year, blah, blah, blah. He texted back and said, one key is going to cost me $90. Good morning, Fifi. Well, the other guy was 2 for $300, so that's $150 per key. So that's obviously cheaper. He goes, do you want a remote or a key? I said, I want a key. I don't want no remote because these high-tech cars, sometimes when they don't work properly, it's more of a problem. So I said, text him back. I said, listen, if I get 2 keys, can you offer me some kind of discount? He said, okay. I did text us. I changed the battery multiple times. I have a pack of batteries in the car. I've changed the battery, and the same time I changed the battery, it worked for 5 minutes and then something, whatever. It could be a sensor, it could be X, Y, and Z. But the problem with these cars is to access these things that you used to be able to access, you have to move X, Y, and Z to get to the thing, and it's not even worth going in to fix it. There's 3 things to fix on my car. That's not worth fixing it because to get to it is going to cost me more than just enduring the annoyance. That's how. There's 3 sensors I already know, for one for the airbag, one for something else. I think the seat, I have a sensor for the seat, the passenger seat, that somebody's in it, but it's my handbag half the time. So now it's just always saying, put on the seatbelt, there's somebody in the seat. No, it's nobody's there. There's nobody in the car. Like, the car is not smarter than you. Like, they think that. Anyways, but yeah, the battery Texas says Lala's not working. Good morning, Food Forest. Yep, Earth Day, right? Is that what you're saying? 420. Oh, today. No, 22nd. It's coming up. Anyways, New Directions, Aeromax and Saga. It's a great place to. Okay, hold on. Let me write this down. Every live, I have to make some notes. New directions. 'Cause I know at the beauty supply store I usually get or the black hair store we call it. We get shea butter and all that stuff, and I would melt it down and make, you know, Mississauga cream, essential oils, containers, and all that. Okay, new directions. Let me okay, I put it on my notepad because it's yeah, it's not worth it. $16 is just not worth it. Um, so I'm gonna go pick up the key today. So he's gonna give me 2 keys for $160, basically. From 300 to 160. To me, that's a good deal. And I'll have a key that can just start the car. So now I can drive where I want to drive further away and not worry about the car not reading the remote and being stuck somewhere over there, like the range, which is out of my way. I accidentally left my key in my pocket with the remote when I put them in the laundry. Thankfully, I caught it. It got caught in the rubber door area and it still worked. Never told hubby. I always leave Kleenex in my pocket, even though I try not to. It's just ridiculous. Good morning. Okay, she's saying hi to, okay, she's saying hi to Howie. And da 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 da. Hold on. What's it freezing up on me? So I'm gonna go pick that up today. While I'm in that area, I'm gonna go to a special grocer and get some groceries from this special place, and they have some Caribbean stuff. I'm gonna go get something at the juicery over there, check them out, see if it's a good juicery, because if I'm out and about, I do want some healthier options. I tried a juicery the other day. I'm a juice snob now because I have a cold pressed juicer. So when I go to a place and they're using the centrifugal, it doesn't taste it just ugh, but it was better than having a pop. So I did have some. Um, but it's expensive, so that's why I make my own. But if I'm out and about, you want to pick up something to eat, it's nice to have some other options. I'm gonna check out that at another place over there. I want to check out to get some supplies. Okay, no problem. Be right back. Oh, April 22nd. Okay, which is Monday. So I'm waiting for the live on Monday. To that. So that was a blessing. So I got a better deal. So I'm going to deal that today. Also, just before I forget, the 25th, which is Thursday, is the next update for the Planter Herb Garden Challenge. I have to up pot most of my stuff because it's ready to go, and it's hard to keep it watered in the house, even though I have that soil. For those who don't know, maybe new to gardening, the potting mix is great, but if you have to let it dry out sometimes. But when you let it dry out and then you water it, it doesn't really hold the water. So you gotta, it's a perfect balance, and sometimes you get the balance wrong. So right now it's like I gotta drench it. It's not holding the water because it's dried out too much, but it needs to dry out because it was too wet because it's stupid gnats. So it's time for those things to go outside so they can start to flourish. The catnip is going to go outside, and so on and so forth. This is the first year I'm using the chicken manure in my beds because I've had the chickens long enough. I dug up a section in their run back to the grade that it would have been at if it was flush with the run was flush with the ground. Because by the time you add leaves and straw and they're manuring, it built up to about maybe 6 inches, maybe even more. So I dug up a section, put some straw back over there, and I put buckets in the upper beds. And I gave to my dad a feed bag full of chicken salad and a bucket. So they're putting it in their beds. So that's what I've been using. The containers I did for the first time use. I don't really use certain things, but I am trying it, an organic blood meal. I'm trying it. So I'm going to see if it makes any difference from previous years in these containers. I have used alfalfa pellets. I'm still going to use them and put them in the soil. It did work. It did add a lot of nutrients. But the issue is when you have to keep feeding your plants, what liquid feed do you use? So compost tea, yes, all of that. But you need the infrastructure in place. I don't have a barrel that's holding scraps. I need to get that set up first to make it worth my while, because having a bucket with this stuff, and it just was attracting flies and wasps. It was a hot mess. But I'm using the chicken salad. I up planted some things. Anything in the brassica family, bok choy, is going to be planted in those beds. So one bed is totally mixed. I mixed it up as best I could. Let me tell her hold on. Give me a second. Let me take this call just in case it's urgent. 1 second, people. Okay, nothing urgent. So that's doing well. And I had 2 bags of soil up top. I put 1 bag on top, and then that's that. The other bed has been weeded and done. Thank God for my sister who helped me. She was a great help. And also, I like when people can help you and you don't have to watch them. She noticed right away there's some garlic there. Some people would have thought, oh, those were weeds and pulled them out. So she knew, she left them there. That bed I can only plant in half. So I'm going to put some chicken salad on that half. The third bed that I've never planted in ever, that has leaves, mulch, rabbit manure from my friend. It sunk down to almost empty. So I put a bucket of chicken salad in there. I'm gonna put maybe 2 more, um, some soil from the bags plus from the other pots, just recycle some of the soil, fill it up, and I'm gonna plant in that bed. And I'm pretty sure it's gonna be well nourished, it's gonna be fine. So going forward, I'm not gonna be using fertilizer. I don't use fertilizer, but I have a bit of Miracle Grow left. Once that's finished, I'm not gonna be repurchasing. I may buy the blood meal again, not for sure. I think the chicken salad, compost tea, the leaves are fine, and the seaweed liquid feed, and then I have more bloom. I'm tapering down how much things I'm using gradually, and that's what I've been doing. Um, just checking the weather. Okay, that's okay. Mine have been potted up and all over the place. It's going to be tricky to find them all in the. That's what happened to me, but they're popping up now. I have a container of celery to up pot, but I didn't do it because once you start taking them out the pot, you have to have places to plant them because you can't, like, once you start disturbing the roots. So there's about 20 celery in that box, that whatever you call it, nursery container, and that's what I've been doing. So this year, certain things I did not plant in the peat pellets. Some things need to be planted and just broadcasted in a container, and then you separate it. My milk carton thingies, which is not milk cartons, I plant my winter sowing was done in those vinegar bottles. I don't drink milk, so I don't have milk jugs. I didn't feel like going to go beg for milk jugs, so I used the empty vinegar jugs that I have. Nothing has germinated as of yet. I have to get 2 more going in the clear bottles. I have to get my nasturtiums going. My calendula needs to start, and my zinnias. And that's what I'm doing. That will be my pollinator attractants. I don't see anything else I want to plant. That's maybe some cosmos. I might do some bachelor buttons. It's probably late in the season, but I'm going to plant them anyways. You have to amend your pots, and not necessarily amend them with fertilizer, but you have to kind of air them out because they get compacted. So you have to air them out. Mine have been all okay. That one already. I have forgotten. Yep. So she didn't pull them out. So I like the people who can help me, who know what they're doing, because it makes my life easier versus people who are just pulling out everything. Oh, it's a weed. No, that's a plant. Oh, it's a weed. No, that's a strawberry. You started your zinnias on Sunday? Okay, perfect. I didn't do my zinnias yet. So, and sunflowers. I'm gonna get those started just to hopefully get a sunflower this year. I'm trying to spend a little less at the nursery. I will spend a certain amount there just to support because you want to keep them in business, but I'm not gonna, mind you, I say that every year, but I'm seriously gonna spend maybe $25 to $30, maybe 25 on plants. I'm not counting soil. If you need soil, that does not count in the budget. I will buy the soil. I need to buy a couple of bags of soil because some of the beds need to be brought back up to the top. The blueberry bin I have to dig out the blueberries. They actually are sticking up because all the soil has compressed. I'm going to, take them out, re-amend the bed with chicken salad, more soil, put them back in, and then build it back up. Some of the containers, especially the grow bags who have holes in them from the potato bugs chewing holes and the earwigs literally chewing holes, things just, fall out. I'm going to top them up. But probably when I mix a chicken salad, it may be enough. But buy your soil and make sure your stuff is filled up, especially when the prices are going up and it takes time. I don't like adding bags of soil in the spring. I prefer to add them in the fall for the same reasons most of you do it as well. So it can break down because it's full of sticks and twigs and bark. It can break down and you can put it out and then the worms can go through it and start to do their thing and clean out whatever's in there that's not good for your soil. But when you do it in the spring, whatever chemicals are in there are in there. So I'm not a fan of doing it, but whatever's here I'm going to use, and whatever extra I have to buy, that's what I'm going to have to do. So I may have to just use a chicken salad and just that's what I'm doing. And I'm not it's been sitting there in the run for over 6 months. The one on top is not old, it's probably fresh. If it burns the plant, so be it, but I doubt it's going to burn the plant. And the ones that are in the compost bin up top have been sitting there for months, so I'll take the bottom stuff. It should be fine. I'm not going to sit there and worry about, oh, it's going to burn my whatever. I think nature's smart enough to know what to do and what not to do, and if you don't put it directly on the stem and stuff, it should be fine. My sunflower zinnias and all my flowers are now outside of the greenhouse. Okay, I have to drop my seeds into a jug. Good morning, she said, and see how that goes. I'm mad the city doesn't offer. I used to get compost from the city, but it was always full of pieces of plastic and plastic bags and all kind of. I didn't like it. My dad did, and we got so many weeds. And we had one year we had pure ganja in there, and we weren't growing ganja. That was before it was a thing. I didn't even know what it was. Like, I knew what it is, but I didn't know what the plant looked like. And all these things popping up from the city compost. So I don't know. I'm glad I wasn't using it anyways. I don't know what was in it. I'd rather. Good morning, girl, dad. I would rather get. I know some of y'all. I think Odom was the last person who got. For landscape. Okay. It was awful. We had weeds popping up all over. Good morning, Rambo. All over the place, and some invasive wheat. And then we had callaloo, all this callaloo. I don't know where it came from, and all the walk. Oh my god! And for those who didn't know, I had told off my dad's neighbor behind him for spraying chemicals in the air and ruining my whole gardening season last year over there. And they put cardboard along the fence, so I guess they don't have to see us anymore. Don't bother me. Don't bother me. You deserve a telling off. You deserve to be told off because you're supposed to be a gardener and growing food, and that means you shouldn't be spraying the dandelions. You should just dug them out with a shovel or put some cardboard on it. So now them a block the view like you punish me. Did me care? Them a block the view. Good. We don't have to see anyways. Otada. Anyways, callaloo never dies. Yes, Rambo, it never dies. I think the callaloo was from 1985. My dad's old callaloo, the callaloo in the compost. It was in every walkway. There's callaloo. But we had free food. Trust and believe. We didn't have to. But yeah, there's a lot going on in the gardening community over here. People, we're beefing over here. She deserved it. She deserved it. She deserved it. There was no reason to spray all those chemicals in the air and put that on my food. We've had kale in my parents' garden for 3 years. My dad dug it up now because it's pretty much it's done. It's dead. It wasn't even going to go to seed. Yeah, puff pass. So, and my dad actually started his own kale. He's getting down with our modernized gardening. He propagated it from the kale. So we were like, yo, something smells kind of funky in the living room. So I guess it was kind of like in the water too long. So it got roots. He planted it. It's outside living its best life. So we have kale that's pretty much been established from an existing plant. My Casper kale, I have one that germinated. I'm really not impressed with the seeds. I don't know if anybody else had any luck, but I think I'm going to burn Casper kale. Just burn it. Don't waste your time. Every other kale I planted has never given me this much problems. Kale is not hard to grow. Oh, when I have to plant my callaloo, I'm going to plant some callaloo somewhere. I haven't decided where, but I'm going to plant some callaloo. I definitely, in my herb garden challenge, in one of the containers, I think it's maybe this summer savory, there's a plant in there that I didn't plant. So I don't know if it was in the pack of seeds or in the soil, but it looks like catnip, but it's not catnip. It looks like a weed that I see in the garden. So it's possible that some of these other weeds that I think are weeds, well, weeds are not weeds, they're actually herbs. It's something. I don't know what it is, but things pop up out of the most unlikely places. So, and some of the I know some of the seed packs in time past were mislabeled. So you may think it's one thing and it's something else. This Casper kale, I got one. And hopefully it'll go to something big so I can harvest the seeds and maybe that will give me viable seeds. But the seed pack from the big company that we all know about in the Missouri area, that the pack of seeds that hasn't done me nothing good. I dropped seeds 50 million times. Okay, not 50 million, maybe 5 times. So I'm going to drop some seeds in a pot outside, cover it with a mesh garbage bin so that doesn't get dug up, and I'll see. But I'm really not happy with the Casper kale. It shouldn't be this hard to grow some damn kale. And I think I paid like $5 for that pack US for that pack of seeds plus shipping. So I'm really not impressed. Everything else from them has germinated, but that did not. And anyways, so I don't recommend Casper kale. If somebody here can say it was good and it grew well, fine. Kevin, just let me know there's room for you. Okay, thank you, Brampton. Raquel, I keep calling you Brampton, but yeah, like some of these seeds aren't cheap, but whatever. When you're a gardener, you'll pay I'm not going to pay whatever. I'm not buying those $20 seeds from the purple tomato, but $5 for a pack of seeds, and the pack has sometimes 200 plus seeds. To me, that's worth it because when you go into the grocery store, literally, let me go look in my grocery flyer because I'm not going to even make this up, but I know I saw some things. It was like per pound. Like, for instance, let me just look up something to tell you what the prices are over here. I can't speak for your area, but I can speak for my area. There's some foolishness going on. Okay. Let me find something that okay. So right now, romaine lettuce isn't too bad at Wally World. You can get 3 romaine hearts for $1.94 for a 3-pack. That's saving 51%. That means it's usually about $4 for that same pack of romaine. Let me see what other greens. I'm trying to find some greens that. Okay. So bell peppers are $2.47 a pound for bell peppers. I'm trying to find something else. Let me look up spinach maybe. And I'll tell you. Okay, thanks. I got the message, Brampton. Okay, so baby spinach. Let's just look up a pack of baby spinach or spinach. $5 for a pack of spinach. That's 312 grams. Not too bad. That's a big amount of spinach, but it's $5. That's probably on sale. One celery is $2.50 on sale this week. So usually it's more. So when you buy a pack, yeah. Okay, I'll message you. Hold on. I'll add you to my phone in a second. I'll text you back and I'll say it's me and then you'll know it's me. For one celery. So paying $5 for a pack of celery seeds and you get hundreds of seeds. But yeah, you got to plant them. Yeah, you got to water them. Yeah, you got to grow them. To me, is better. So for instance, cilantro. A bunch of cilantro is 99 cents. You know, cilantro goes bad in like 2 days. If you buy cilantro, that's bad in 5 minutes. It gets soggy in the fridge. Roma tomatoes, $1.99 a pound at Freshco. I'm trying to find anything else, find another store that people may shop at. Broccoli. A bunch of broccoli is $2 for a bunch of broccoli. And the bunch is very tiny. If you want a bunch of spinach, it's $2 as well. A cucumber is $1.30 for an English cucumber. Over here at this No Frills, it's $3 for one celery. One cantaloupe is $3. 1 pound of green beans is $2.99, so $3. Snap peas for 425 grams is $5. So Okay, and then look at this. Bartlett pear, $2 a pound. I have a pear tree. I have 2 fruit trees. I don't have to maintain the fruit trees. It kind of does its own thing. You water, you give some feed. But when people say, "Oh, I'm not going to pay $50 for a fruit tree." You better damn well pay the 50, well, excuse my French, pay the $50 for the fruit tree. That's going to feed you for years, and you can even not graft, clone it, or, get cuttings off of it. Who wants to pay $2 a pound for Bartlett pears and Forel pear, whatever else is in here? Never mind meat. I don't raise my own meat, so I have to buy meat if I'm going to choose to eat meat. This is the prices that's going on. Never mind bread. So I don't know why people are like, certain things I'm not going to skimp on. It may be more than I want to spend, but if a fruit tree is going to cost, $70, I'm buying the fruit tree. That's just me. Trees, we've had the same tree in my parents' garden for over 20 something years, and that's fed a lot of us, a lot of people. We've given away bags of pears. We've given to the bus drivers, people passing by, neighbors, church, just fruit for free. I didn't appreciate it growing up, but now definitely realize how important it is to have, your own fruit trees. I got a ton of produce at Walmart for super cheap from the reduce. Yep, I have no shame going to the clearance section. I wash them, prep them, I use them to cook, I freeze some of them for smoothies, eggplants. These are not, people don't seem to like eggplants. Papayas, yep. That's the only way to survive, and also grow your own. Sounds like if you ain't growing it yourself in 2026, that's what I definitely believe that, Rambo. I don't care where in the world you live. If you're not growing food, you're gonna what's gonna happen is you're gonna just be eating more processed food, because I don't think the fresh food's gonna be very affordable. And even though it can be affordable, because a lot of the food here is grown locally in greenhouses, so I don't know the reason for the price jump, but imports, tropical fruits, good luck. Things that you want to eat to keep healthy, good luck. Ginger, turmeric, good luck. You're going to have to, it's been happening so gradually that people aren't really paying full attention. Some people aren't, most of us are. You're going to have to build right now your infrastructure. If you don't have a fruit tree and you can find fruit trees, mine are in containers. I have no intention of putting nothing in the ground until I find the property that I want to kind of have my orchard on. So my trees have given me fruit. Not lots of fruit, but it's given me fruit. My other tree that I got is budding like crazy. It's going to be the first year I'm going to get fruit from it. And I'm going to try to buy a couple of more trees this year. And I'm definitely propagating those fig trees. If you don't have fruit trees, you're missing the mark, because fruit trees pretty much take care of themselves. And that's the cheapest way long term to feed your family. Anything else that you're growing, you have to drop a seed, you have to amend the soil, you have to water. Even if you're capturing rainwater, there's certain work involved. Fruit trees, you buy the tree, you put it in a good spot, you either put it in the ground or a huge container, and it will give you food. You just make sure you check on it for any infestations, any kind of diseases, and you can look them up as it comes up. But other than that, it takes care of itself. So if you don't have fruit trees, make sure you start looking into buying fruit trees. I think most of us will recommend that. Our neighbor works for a food supply company and comes home with free. My neighbor used to as well. He moved away now though. He gave us 2 huge cauliflowers, a bag of limes, a big bag of lettuce, and some sweet potatoes. My parents' former neighbor did that as well. He used to work at a place called Cisco. And he's moved away now. His mom sold the place. She's in a nursing home and all that kind of stuff. But thank God for people like that who do things like that and share, and you have a good relationship with them. But some people don't want that. Some people don't want those foods. They don't want it. They're actually they want, you know, desserts and packaged stuff. Nothing wrong with the clearance section. But some people, I don't know what they have in their mind, but me shop right, I go right to the clearance section. I even told an older man about it yesterday. He was looking over some oranges, and then putting them back after seeing the price. I told him there's some oranges in the back on the clearance rack. I buy my lemons from the clearance rack, my limes. My dad does that as well. He cuts them up and he freezes them, and then he'll put them in a hot water, and have like a lemon water thing in the morning to flush the system. Things like that. And you mangoes. Yep. I love me some mangoes. I went to Oceans as well. I don't really go there because it's out of my way, but I will probably go there more often because they have the burdock root, which they call gobo, which is the other name. I went there. I don't like going to Oceans because every time I ask for help, nobody knows what I'm talking about. And there's a language barrier, but I persevered that day. And a customer kind of tried to help me. And I asked him, okay, it might be with the root crops like radishes and stuff. He goes, okay, well, I know they're over there. So maybe you'll find it over there. And they had burdock and all kind of stuff that I need, daikon radish. So I will be going to Oceans again. And I'm thinking I'm going to try TNT again out of my way, but I will try it. I know I wish you had room for trees, but they have some miniature trees. I'm looking for a miniature. There's another tree. I forgot the name. I know Broke Farmer, and they were talking about it on one of it's either Broke or David or Calvin were talking about some trees, and I took some notes, but there was a dwarf, maybe it was G Mama. There's some certain dwarf trees. If I can get my hand on one of them, that would be great. But I harvest my neighbor's damn right. My parents have a cherry tree. I've never tried Nations. Oh, yeah, customer service was awful. Awful. But their website was garbage because they don't have a website that tells you what produce that they carry. So I had to physically go there to see if they carried it. So I was at cleaning the rental property, came back, went to Whole Paycheck, went there. They have burdock root there, and I wanted to get golden beets. Haven't seen golden beets there in a minute. I said, "Can you take me to Oceans?" We're in a rush. I'm like, just take me there just to see if they have it. If I know they have it, then I don't have to make a special trip to find out if they have it. Then I know they have it, and I can come here and shop. They have it there, but the service is awful. Miss Shirley, you have to get to the store early for clearance rack. Some people are getting hip, for sure. And I find if you want to get clearance stuff, you have to go multiple times a week. So those who are retired, and if you're going for a walk or you go, bike riding or stuff like that, and you kind of put it as part of your route, you go check and then you leave. Because sometimes one day you'll find bananas, one day you'll find lemons and oranges, and you have to keep going. You find meat sometimes. Man, I found some meat and I'm like, yo, you got room in your freezer? Why? I go, there's a whole bunch of pot roasts and stuff here. And I would just pick them up and take them to my parents' house and just pack up the freezer. And if we had time before I put in the freezer, we would, we clean and wash our meat, we season it, and then bag it up in freezer bags in a container. And then we put there for freezing so that when we take it out, there's less work to prep it. That's my little tidbit for the day. Well, over here, the mango. I don't buy Jamaican fruit, Ramble. It's too expensive. I had to buy whatever's from Mexico or whatever. It's too expensive. But I haven't tried Nations. I know I have tried Sunny's. I like Sunny's, but Sunny's does not have burdock root. They have everything else, but they don't have burdock root. But now that I know they call it gobo or something different in their Asian stores, they have a different name for it. I will see if they have it under, but I looked, they don't have it at Sunny's. I tried hold on, customer service at Oceans is awful, but you get what you pay for. Ample is a lot friendlier. I think I tried Ample once. Oh, banana blossoms. Renaissance would love that. And I'm trying to get like jackfruit. It could be a kumquat or a loquat or something. I've always wanted a kumquat. That's on my wish list. So if I see that, and if I see a peach tree over here, I'm going to get it. Nations has a huge food court. You can buy the ducks hanging and all kinds of stuff. Okay, I'll try that. I refuse to post anything about my social media. I don't want to let people know. Keep an eye out on them to making hold on. Keep an eye out for them to be making ham down soon. Sorry, marking ham down soon. I don't really eat ham anymore, but I'll give it to the chickens. I don't, yeah. I have a pack of canned ham I found in the garage. So I'm gonna soak it out because it's too much sodium, and I'll give it to the chickens to eat. But there's lots of other things I can find to eat. I'm telling you. So for those of you who can get fruit trees, I highly recommend it. Make sure you can grow whatever you want as long as you give it the climate that it needs. But in to make your life easier and in all wisdom, try to find things that are local to your grow zone that are going to do well in your grow zone. I cannot do certain plants, but I know Broke mentioned a Japanese lime that is cold tolerant. If I can find that ever in this life, I'm gonna get it. Um, I got cold tolerant fig trees. I have apples and pears. I've had peaches. Things like that. Don't make your life difficult that you have to be having a greenhouse and there's lots of fruit that's local to your grow zone and things that you may have never even heard of. Give it a try. Check it out and do those things. Don't try to be all fancy and fandangling things from zone 12 and you're a zone 3. That don't make no sense. Do whatever you want to do. Some people have the infrastructure already in place so they can do that. But don't just pick up yourself and say, I'm going to buy a lime tree because so and so has a lime tree. So and so has a greenhouse, a wallapini. They have, heating source. They have things already in place. Um, Hold on. The price for them in the UK, I like been undercut. Price. I don't think I've ever canned ham. Yeah, there's canned ham. I don't know. They can everything, especially in the Caribbean because you can't get certain things fresh. So everything's a lot of canned meat. I have it here, Urban, and it's doing okay. So that's good. Just find things that are local to your zone. Now, what else did I have to talk about? So yeah, the Herb Garden Challenge. The next update's the 25th, which is Thursday. Just a reminder. Now, I mentioned to you, I'm going to wrap it up because I got to get to my plumber supposed to come here today. That reminds me, the pipe burst. My outdoor pipe burst. Um, Partly it's my fault, but not really because I did not get instructions on this new pipe. My outdoor faucet has been there since the house was built, probably in the 70s. No problem. My dad and the plumber decided that they're going to put a copper pipe and raise it up, maybe about 18 inches, so I don't have to bend down to turn on the water, which is fine. It was a good idea. So at the end of the season, as per usual, and he fixed the lever in the house because the faucet, the knob was dripping. So he put on a ball valve on and off, and the same thing outside. No problem. I don't really recall him giving me any special instructions. It's possible, but I don't think he did because I'm very meticulous at doing things properly because I don't want to have to damage things and pay for it again. Um, you know, so the pipe, obviously there would be water in the pipe. I turned off the main water, I turned off the hose, I drained out the hose, I did all that stuff. I even covered the faucet, covered the pipe for overwintering. And I guess he told me now, when I turned on the water outside, I heard a bush. So I thought maybe the hose nozzle was on and is spraying. When I went out, the pipe was spraying water. So I had to run back inside, turn off the main water for that pipe, and the pipe burst. So most likely it already burst. So he did tell me when he called me, he's supposed to come today. I haven't seen him. There's a little knob in the house that you have to open. And he goes, when you open it, you have a cloth or a rag in your hand so that it'll catch the drippings and that will drain out anything in that little now. It's now trapped there because he had to add on a piece. And then that will make sure that there's no water in that pipe. So I didn't do that. I wasn't told to do that. The pipe burst. He's going to come and fix it. Now I know it won't happen again. And the covering was fine, but it was probably already cracked. So thank God I collected rainwater. So I have rainwater to water everything. It's rainy season, so it's fine. But that's what happened over here. So I have to get the pipe fixed. Let me see here. I have to have tropical. Oh no, you can have I'm just saying. No. I'm not saying you can't have tropicals, Fifi. I'm saying for people who want to follow other people and think that they can do what other people are doing and they have no idea what they're doing and they haven't done their homework. I'm used to overwintering in my garage, but I need a greenhouse to be able to. Yeah, you have a greenhouse now. I know you had. I saw the video to take my plants out earlier and leave my tropicals out longer. It's an investment. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm not saying don't have tropicals. I'm saying don't say, oh well, Fifi has no this tree and I go pick up the tree. And then you're complaining that Fifi has the infrastructure for the tree. That's exactly what I'm saying. She has the infrastructure for the tree. So and she knows what she's doing. She didn't just say I'm going to go and pick up all these tropical fruit and then have no infrastructure. So, yeah, use your common sense, and if you're starting out, start out with what grows in your zone. Once you start to get yourself, down good with the trees, and you say, okay, I want to do tropicals, I want to buy a greenhouse. As I said in the beginning, as long as you're going to give the tree what it needs. If you're not going to give the tree what it needs, namely temperature and climate, then don't be going to go pick up no tropical tree and damn well you live in a zone tree. I have a garage, so I can put some things in my garage, which I did. The lemongrass, I think it came back, hopefully. My rosemary, my fig trees. I even did sorrel one year, roselle. I didn't do it this year or last year because I need more room and I need a grow tent. So now that my garage is getting cleaned out, you might see in the fall me getting a grow tent and starting to do like Jamaican sorrel and other things and maybe getting some more tropical like plants and trees. But I'm building the infrastructure. So when you go and see people on YouTube and say, oh, so and so is doing it, so and so has built the infrastructure and they know their grow zone. So don't be watching. I'm in zone 5B, 6A, I think. Because now they keep changing yes, something like that. And if all I'm going to do is watch people who are growing food in California and think I can grow what they're growing here in California here, that's ridiculous. I have to put in the infrastructure first before I start doing that kind of stuff. So you have to take it and take the wisdom you're learning from the California, the Florida people, the people in the Caribbean, the people in Africa who I'm watching, people in the Philippines. They have a different climate. They don't have to deal with bringing things indoor, outdoor, up and down, and fans and blowing because it's too humid. They don't have to deal with none of that. My sorrow kept getting that too. So you have to put in the infrastructure. If you haven't done that and done your research, the first thing you should be doing as a new gardener or a new person with trees is grow what is local to your grow zone where you're going to have success and understand what it takes and the space that's needed before you pick up yourself and go do something and you pick up more than you can chew. You can do whatever you want. That's what I'm saying. There's some people I know for a fact in Calgary, which is colder than here, that are growing coconuts and all kind of tropical fruits, but they have built a structure that is using sun energy and energy from the earth, and they have a whole infrastructure that they're doing that can keep the trees in a climate that's suitable, and they're growing bananas, all kind of something. But don't you dare go buy a banana tree now and you don't have the infrastructure. That's all I'm saying. You have to prepare for certain things. Same thing when you're getting animals. You see Fifi, oh, she have chicken, and the urban has chicken, and so has chicken. I'm gonna get chicken, but you don't have anything in place yet. You gotta do a bit more planning and research before you decide, because you're gonna end up getting upset and disappointed. And just do your, plan it out. And if you want to succeed, watch people who are growing in your grow zone and how much they're pushing the envelope, and then say, okay, well, if you're in like Fifi's grow zone or my grow zone, okay, what are they growing? How did they accomplish that? How come Fifi, if you watched her last season, I think it was in her garage, she had put up some kind of structure with the plastic within the building to create a microclimate in the garage. And her plans did well. But this year, she upped the game, or maybe it's a year prior. She upped the game. I know she had bought a grow tent that she had a problem with she got the wrong one or something. She did a grow tent. She put some more things in place. She didn't just put them in the garage. So she put a microclimate in place. She had some lights. She had, like, look at what they're doing to succeed. Because you don't want to spend money on trees and then it throws it out. It gets up being thrown out or being infested by powdery mildew, white flies, and all these other things that are happening. Just be mindful. But of course, you can do whatever you want to do. I'm all for pushing the envelope, but don't just push it with no preparation. Have your preparation in place. That's right, Rambo. Mine is flowering indoors in the fire. Oh, her gunga pea. Exactly. Preparation. You have to figure it out. So many people say I can't grow loofah here. Yeah, but you start in February. Exactly. Even my Jamaican sorrel. There's certain things somebody asked me, are you growing X, Y? I said no. I would have had to have already started in February because I would rather start early than to bring them in the house like last time. And then I had all these bugs in my house. I'm gonna get a grow tent. If I can get a grow tent this season, I might start things even in the winter and maintain them and then put them out in the spring or summer. We'll see. The options are there, but you just got to have the infrastructure. Some people do things and when they fail, they're complaining and they're carrying on. But when you start to ask some informed questions, you realize you didn't really go in with a plan, did you? You really didn't prepare ahead of time, did you? Then you're cussing the plant, you're complaining about gardening, you're carrying on, but really you were the problem. The problem was not the plant. The problem was you. You did not put the plan in place, and then you're getting carrying. I didn't know that this was going to happen. Had you done some basic research, you probably would have known, but you can't tell people that because they're gonna be like, but really and truly, a lot of things that we do is our own fault. I was told so, but I grew it last year. I'm growing it. Yeah, you have to just give it the climate that it needs. As long as you're willing to do that, it's fine. Geothermal greenhouses isn't exactly, it's not cheap. And some people are good. There are some people who are construction, like they're very handy, so they can do that work themselves. But take a stock of who you're watching and what they've done to get those things in place. The problem is not the plants, the problem is you. When someone complains about a recipe, but they didn't follow the directions and subbed half the ingredients. You see? Or even like when I was baking in the early stages. Oh, I don't have to sift the flour. I don't have to do this. I don't have to do it exactly the way it was written. And then when you have some experience, you can modify certain things. But don't modify it before you've tried it exactly as it's written and think it's going to. Even then, it's not the recipe, it's you. You're the problem. You're the problem. So that's the lesson for today. You need to follow the instructions. You need to ensure that you're going to be successful by doing some basic research. That's all I'm saying. But I'm not saying you can't do this and you can't do that. That's never going to be what I'm saying. You can't do it without giving it the proper environment. You have to have preparations in place. And if you're not willing to do that, then yes, you can't do it because you're not going to succeed. You're not willing to put in the work. You're always a problem. And we have to be honest. We're the problem. Now, when it comes to the Casper kill, am I the problem? No. I tried it in soil. I tried it in peat pellets. I tried it under the lights. I'm going to try it one more time out in the outside in a pot. And maybe I'm trying different options. But I'm not trying to grow kale in a climate that doesn't suit kale. So that you can't compare what I'm saying. But you have to be able to push the envelope, but you have to do it with wisdom. Don't just do random foolishness. Don't buy a mango tree and you know you're in zone 3 and you have the tree outside and you're wondering why it's dying. Well, you know winter is coming. You know there's overnight frost. And you know that mangoes are trapped. That's what I'm talking about. People who do some dumb stuff. Are you calling me dumb? No, I'm not calling you dumb, but if the shoe fits, wear it. Don't get mad at me. That's dumb stuff. I know sorrel is a tropical plant. Did I have the sorrel outside in the fall, in the winter when the leaves are off the tree? Is my sorrel still outside? No. You have to bring the sorrel inside because it don't make no sense. Lemongrass, same thing. Use some good old common sense is missing. This is the problem. Common sense is not so common anymore. Common sense is not so common. I always laugh when you're in people's chats. What should I grow? What should I grow? I don't know you from the hole in the ground. I don't know where you live. I don't know your grow zone. And I don't know what you like to eat. I don't know if you even have food allergies. So why on God's green earth are you asking somebody like me or somebody on a live what you should be growing? You don't have enough sense to know that you can figure that out yourself by going to the nursery, the big box store, the orange one, the blue one, the other blue one, and the other nurseries to go figure out what you can grow in your own locale. Why are you asking me? Like, really? It's growing season over here. I'm busy, so don't ask me dumb questions. Oh, Urban, you're mean. Don't ask me dumb questions. Don't ask me dumb questions. You're gonna get silence. I don't even have time to formulate words to answer. Everybody wants to be spoon fed. It's like you're still on the breast milk. You're still like, grow up. Go to the same big box store that we all go to in your locale, see seedlings they have, and figure out what's going to work for your area. Don't go on a live and say to somebody, what should I grow? I have to ask you about 10 questions before I can even answer that question. And because my life is so busy right now, I'm not going to ask you the 10 questions because I can't be bothered. The same way I had to figure out what to plant over here without asking the internet is the same way you need to ask, hi, nursery employee. Hi, garden center employee. Hi, uncle, auntie, cousin, so and so. What are you planting? Oh, you planting zucchini? Okay, I guess zucchini's gonna work over here too. Let me plant, but I don't like zucchini. So then, why are you planting zucchini? Like, I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. But the dumb questions in as of April till about September, there will be no dumb questions answered over here. And yes, I'm talking about dumb questions. I'm not talking about people who are new and they just don't know. If you just don't know, that's one thing. But even then, don't make the question dumb because you have to do your own homework, your own research, and your own legwork. Do your own legwork. You have to do it yourself. We can't be here spoon feeding. That's ridiculous. We're all over the globe. We're all in different time zones, different countries. You think I can sit down and answer a general when can I start seeds? When was your last frost? All over the place. Do you have grow light? Like I have to ask you 25 million questions. Like, do I tell you what to eat for dinner? I still getting down to the overnight, and I gave her an orange hat dwarf contained tomato for her birthday, and she went and put the plant outside already. You know what I'm saying? Now I have things outside, and my neighbors I thought we were crazy, but I've been doing this for a couple of years. I already know spinach, bok choy, cabbages, kale can go, and Swiss chard can go outside, and they're outside. We direct sowed certain plants already. Oh, it's too early to plant. No, it's not. I've been doing this, number one. I've done my research, number two. And number three, You buy your stuff from the nursery. So it's not available yet anyway. So you're thinking in your mind, you can't start planting earlier. And I cover myself with frost coverings if needed, or even the plastic. It's fine. If the weeds are growing, if the dandelions are growing in your lawn, that is an indication that you can grow something, but you have to grow the right something. Is that tomatoes in my zone right now? Outside? No. Swiss chard, spin, all that stuff, no problem. Those, it's always the ones that ask the dumb questions that then tell you you can't do X, Y, and Z. You can't do that. Nothing worse than when people give you information that you didn't ask for. I didn't really ask you. And even if I am in the wrong, I'm testing a theory. I'm testing how far I can push the envelope just for my own knowledge base, and to maybe next season see how early, time wise, before my last frost date, and also based on the overnight temperature, how early I can push the envelope to plant things outside. I know lettuce is very resilient, and it might do a little, get a little worse for wear, but after 2 days, it's gonna perk right back up. Simple, no problem. It's she'll learn Psalms, but it does, that would piss me off though. Like, you eat yet? You put the thing outside, so and it's not ready to go outside yet. That's the point. People don't do any research. They want you to spoon feed everything to them. And all they do is sit there and reap the benefits. When there's nothing to buy, too much money, will grow what's already growing in your locale. Exactly. If you want to push the envelope, I'm all for it. I'm doing it myself. But don't complain and say, "Oh, this is not working." You didn't do any homework. You didn't do any research. Like, don't get me wrong. We're a great community. We're very helpful. We'll answer questions. But I'm just telling you over here, no dumb questions from April 1st to September 30th. I don't have time. I'm trying to push the envelope. I'm trying to clone some trees, get some more trees, get the beds, get the chickens, get some more chickens. I'm trying to clean I'm over here doing stuff. My elbow's been hurting me. I'm trying to get salves made. I don't have time. You don't know where to get seeds from? Go to the damn box store. That common sense. Where do you buy? Doesn't matter where I buy seeds. It doesn't matter where I buy my seeds. It doesn't change the reaping and the harvesting. Dollar store, Dollarama, Dollar Tree, Orange store, Blue store. You can go online to several companies. I've gone to several. I'm getting my MI Gardner ones. I went to West Coast because Brampton said there was a sale going on. First time I went there, I bought a whole bunch of stuff from West Coast. There's the animal feed store has seeds. I'm sure Tractor Supply, Ace Hard, all them places have seeds. You telling me you have to ask me where to buy seeds from? You don't know? Oh, I only want to buy organic. But you go to the big box store and you buy whatever greens are available there, and they're not organic, because I can tell you they're not organic because they don't specialize in organic produce. But you're now telling me I must have organic seeds. I don't want organic. Tell somebody who wants to listen, because I'm just at a point where I'm just tired of the dumb questions. Really. Do you ask me where to buy gas to put in your car? But we're so patient, we're so kind, we're so lovely in this community. But I'm just telling you, you just don't come over here with that. I don't have the time. We're all too grown to be asking them kind of ridiculous questions. Um, yeah, they're lazy and they want quick results. You know. Oh, and I comment on everyone's videos, and I see sometimes other people's comments. Oh, blah blah, and oh blah blah, and blah. Did you look it up? Do you think the person has time to sit here and answer all these questions in the comment field when they're out here trying to garden and grow food, and everyone's trying to expand and grow more food and running around to find sales and supplies and build DIYs? Do you think we have time to answer? I'm showing you a video, and more likely than not, these same content creators already have videos on said subject matter, which makes you look even more dodo-ish because they have a video on that. All you gotta do is play it and watch it. Oh, no, 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 no. They want you to do a special. Somebody asked me a question in one of my videos. Oh, did blah, 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 blah. I said, you know what? I'll do a video on that. I'll do an updated review on that product when I get around to doing it, and I'll answer these questions. I'm not going to sit here on my phone with two thumbs and type out a long, extensive answer. Because if really you were interested, you probably would have watched some other people's reviews on the same said product. So I've just put a line in the sand. You're not really interested. You just want me to do the work to answer your question. And 9 times out of 10, you're probably still not going to buy the product. Because the questions are not something that you need to be asking. If I'm showing you I'm using the product, if you've seen my WIG, my herb garden, and other stuff, you would see I'm using the hydroponics unit and I'm using soil. So that just tells me you watched the one video and now you want me to stop what I'm doing to answer all your 50 questions. No, thanks. No, thank you. I wasn't born last night. You got to balance yourself as a content creator and and have boundaries. Not like you're being mean, but it's like you got things to do and you got to inspire people to go and do your homework. I hope she learns from it. It was fully mature plant and had never been outside because it was part of my winter. I hate when people tell me that they're cold hardy annuals and my stuff is out. Yep. And it has to be out, Brampton, because I have to have room to do my zucchinis and my squashes and my watermelons. And I didn't do a lot of squashes last year because of timing and space. And I said, no, I need to get some, because the year before, I had squashes that I had in my cold room that I was still eating on in February and March. So I'm going to make sure I have a lot of winter squash because I could feed myself, make soups, roast for all through the winter. So I'm definitely going to be doing that. Earthlings have lost their way. So kindergarten is a German word meaning child learning to grow food. Yes, you're right. The internet was supposed to make information more accessible and easier. But in doing so, people have gotten lazier and, excuse my French, they've gotten dumber. If I did a video and all your questions weren't answered and all your curiosity wasn't met, there's 1,000,001 people out here doing videos on gardening. And there's somebody that may have some more information in their video that you'll find useful. But I'm not going to be spending any more time explaining my thing to you. I would do another video, which would be more advantageous for me to do a video, edit it, put it up, and get more views on that than to sit here and type an answer. So no, I'm not going to be answering all these comments with thorough answers. I'm going to say, you know what? I'll get a chance. I'll do another video. And while you're doing that, go watch some other videos that I put up there. That's what we have to, I hope people are okay with set bound organic seeds. Oh, is the dirt organic? Like, is the container you're growing in organic? Is the fumes in the air like you're pinpointing on one little thing? Don't get me wrong. People they're interested in organic. They want the best quality, but you're not buying the best quality. So why are you so concerned? I'm telling you the comments, and they're telling you what to do and what to exactly. But I'm not sitting there explain. Oh, one person, I did a video. Oh, hey, good morning, David. I'm way behind, I guess. I did a video. If you guys saw was it a short or a video? Anyways, I was telling off my chicken for digging in the mud. Obviously, I've had chickens for about a year. They don't know that, but I know that. You guys know that. They dig tunnels. They're in the mud. They're looking for bugs. The guy's like, oh, they're looking for bugs. Really? I would have never have guessed that. I would never have known. Me taking care of my 6 chickens for the last 12 months, I would have never have guessed that they want to eat bugs. Considering I've been feeding them bugs. I've been feeding them freeze-dried bugs, the grubs and the whatever else, the black soldier flies. I've been feeding them worms from the garden. I've been seeing them dig for worms. I would never have guessed that they want to get bugs. The whole point of it was It wasn't the time to be digging in the mud, making the place soggy when they have plenty of food. But I know that's the chicken's tendency. It was a funny, like, ha ha ha, sarcastic, you know, tit for tat. I tell off my chickens every day and they cuss me back in chicken every day and we have a little thing going on. I didn't need you to explain why they're digging in the dirt. Like, why do you take a 2-minute clip and make it into, I don't have the understanding or the comprehension of how to take, I'm the one taking care of the chickens. So even if I'm not the best chicken caregiver, I certainly know more than somebody who's not taking care of chickens or took care of chickens at the grandmother's house 40 years ago and haven't took care of chicken now. Come on. Come on. I hope nobody asks me questions in the videos because I haven't checked the comments in at least a month. Doo-doo-ish. That's my dodo-ish. Yep. Just it's ridiculous. I saw a video. I know I saw a couple even on Fifi's video comments. They're upset that her dog is playing with the chickens or around the animals. Um, Fifi live with her dog and live with her chickens. And if the dog kill a chicken, isn't that not Fifi's problem? Is that my problem? It's gonna be her problem. And then she'll learn the lesson better than me telling her. But she has no problem with her dog. Her dog is well behaved and well trained, and she understands that these are not, animals for her to hunt. It's her part of the family. They're telling off Fifi about the dog, and the dog shouldn't be doing this, and the dog, and the click, click, clack, clack, click, click, click. I think most people who have a homestead have a dog, and the dogs are around the animals. And some breeds of dogs are to protect, sheep and goats, but that's kind of what happened. So why is it when she has a video with them kind of fooling around, it's a problem? I know people who have cats up with their chicken and the cat don't touch a chicken. They train and know that's part of the family. I bought some big pumpkins and squash for $4 at Halloween and ate off them until, I'm telling you. So I'm going to be growing a lot more of them. My mom told me to stop saying dum dum. Well, over here we actually call them idiot. Yeah, them a idiot, man, a idiot. Yeah, that's what we call them. But hey, D-Mood, they're upset. And then for those of you who saw African Dreamings short with him skinning the squirrel, I don't know which platform, because I know he put it on Instagram and YouTube, and I watched him on all the platform. But one of the platforms, someone was like, "Oh my god!" Blah, 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 blah. If you don't like, listen, it wasn't for everybody. If you're a vegan and plant-based, it was probably traumatic for you. But typing a comment is not going to stop him from eating the squirrel. Let me just tell you that right now. Typing a comment in the chat is not going to stop African Dreaming from hunting, roasting, barbecuing, sauteing, and fricasseeing squirrel. So all the typing that you're doing is going nowhere. He's going to eat the squirrel on Monday. He's going to have squirrel on Tuesday. He's going to have it for lunch on Wednesday. He's going to have fried squirrel on Thursday. It's going to be a thing. So you typing and complaining ain't doing nothing to people. So I don't know why people are bothered to complain. Do I eat squirrel? No. Did I expect to see him do that in 2 seconds? No, but I learned a valuable lesson. So the ones over here, well, no, I can skin you in 5 seconds flat. They want to complain about everything. Oh, you can't grow like that. That's not going to work. Blah, blah, blah. You do what you want to do on your garden, and I'm going to do what I'm going to do in my garden. Stop commenting. Sometimes people just need to say something, whatever stupid thing comes out their mouth. I get so many comments, nasty comments about my dog being around my chickens. It don't bother me. I still show videos of how exactly. Nothing wrong with Dora. I like the video when Dora went into the coop to go check for rats. I said I need one of them dog there because that's damn rats getting on my nerves. To go make sure everything was okay for the chickens and then come back out. The person who's experiencing it's gonna learn the lesson. They're the ones that are dealing with it. They're gonna learn the lesson. So you telling them is not really gonna change nothing. They will learn the lesson if there's a lesson to be learned. And if you train your dog properly, they will know. Some people's dogs have killed chickens and they continue to kill the chickens because there's no They need to be trained and there needs to be reprimanding. I know in Jamaica, the dog we had, he's gone now. He was poisoned from a wicked. Anyways, he was playing with a goat. Sometimes they're playing, but your playing is actually like you're gonna kill the goat. And it wasn't our goat, it was a neighbor's goat. And not unfortunately, but some people will be upset, but he was disciplined. He was severely disciplined because you have to discipline them because they don't learn. And he never put his mouth on an animal again unless you were feeding saying go ahead, because that kind of behavior is going to cause problems. They'll start getting a taste for blood and then they want to, go here, there, and everywhere. So you have to train your dogs if they're going to be around animals. And the earlier you train them, the better it is. When you get them already with some kind of bad behavior, it takes more severe acts of discipline to let them know. You got to tie them up, lock them up, make sure, and at one point, sometimes you have to get them fixed. So because he wandering off with all these female dogs all over the damn place and you can't find your dog. Play that video on the outdoor TV. I'm going to. Squirrels, hear ye. We're going to have a meeting and I'll show them the video with African. Just strip. Tell your friends, come over here. This is what's going to happen to you. Like, really? That was a good short because it showed how easy. I did not know he could, man. I'm like, I don't eat squirrel. But the point is that we're in a busy time now because now it's gardening season for the rest of us who are in a colder zone. We are now like all the way in. Infrastructure set. We're planting things outside. We're getting more transplants potted in here for me. And I'm going to start, as soon as I'm ready to start some seeds for the squashes and stuff. That's next. My seeds from MI Gardener, as soon as I get them here, I got to start the okra that I have from him. I have 6 here already, but I want to do the one that I bought from his company and get some other stuff like right away so they can get going. I don't have time, even on a non-busy time, with the foolish and dumb questions. People need to start taking the effort and doing the work. And there's videos on all of these questions, but they say, "Oh, this is how it's supposed to happen," and blah, and they want you to hold their hand. Click and do a search. There's a video on everything: cucumber, soil, sitting soil, compost, worm, vermiculture. There's videos on so many things on growing non-climatized plants in your zone. There's people who are in zone 3. What are they doing? People I know here in zone 3, she has a outdoor greenhouse. You have to have certain infrastructure to grow certain foods in certain zones. Don't pretend like there's not. And you have to watch people who are in your zone. Like, it's common sense, but it's not so common. The library has books, there's videos. They have things in various languages that you can watch. They have people who don't speak English, but they do the videos with no audio and just showing you step by step. There's so much information out there. Why are we entertaining these people asking these most ridiculous questions? I don't know. I'm not doing it over here. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. I think we have to push people to be more independent and self-sufficient. And some of that's going to involve not being available to answer their at their every beck and call. I had to do a lot of research before I got chickens. And then when I got chickens, I had a few more questions, but the questions weren't just like random questions. It was like a legitimate thing that I'm dealing with. So the people that I'm asking are answering me because it's like, okay, yeah, don't worry about that. That's not like I'm doing it. I'm not just talking about doing it. I'm doing it. So they're answering my questions. But a lot of these things being asked are people who are not doing it. You're thinking about doing it and you want to get all the information before you start, but that doesn't mean it's going to come from me. Go get some books and do some research and watch some videos available to you. Simple. Let me drop the link. I'll go on for a few more if people want to come up and chit chat a bit, and then we'll wrap it up. Dora was fixed at 1 year old. I think that made it easier to it takes away that drive. And she took really well to the training. She never runs off or leaves my yard, but she defends it very well. And that's what you want. That's exactly what you want. This information they learn for themselves. Exactly. When you learn things for yourselves, it goes further. When you make mistakes, you won't make that mistake again. Like the pipe that burst, I won't make that mistake again. But he really didn't tell me about that other step that I need to take, because I have no problem. He goes, "Oh, I'll show you." I said, "Listen here, I'm a very sharp cookie. Once you tell me something once," and I was on the phone with him, I said, "Okay, let me go there and look at it now." I go, "Oh, I see the little knob." He goes, "Yes, you turn it, you pull it, so I know what to do now." But when he comes, he can show me again to make sure. But when you show people, I don't forget. I will remember it. I don't want to have to pay to get it fixed again. But people have to do their own research, and we have to let them research. Sometimes just say, "You know what, look it up," or just don't answer the question. People told me, "Oh, you can't grow sorrel here." Same thing I said earlier. People who've never grown, well, they may have a small garden, but they don't grow food. They don't have an interest in gardening like I do. They don't spend morning, noon, and night watching gardening videos. They don't, buy seeds, try seeds. They're not, and you're telling me what I can't do when I see people growing tropical fruits in colder climates. I know a guy who has a banana tree in his house. He's had it for years, but it's inside. This is what you have to do. He even has a tree like that at work, but it has to be inside. And he has it on his desk. It gives him like joy, keeps him like from getting stressed out. So that's what he does, his plans. But it's people who don't do the thing that are telling you that you can't do it. You can do whatever you want to do, give it a try within reason. Don't be absolutely ridiculous with it, but give it its needs, temperature, food, whatever it needs, a plant needs, whatever the animal needs, whatever you're doing, do that. There's a couple of people I watch and they got animals recently and the animals died. And that's very unfortunate, but also very dangerous. These are living, well, plants are living things too, but these are living things. If you haven't done enough research and you haven't done the work, don't be bringing animals to your homestead if you don't have things in place and that they didn't make it. There's a certain time, again, I haven't raised animals, but I was up around my aunt and on her farm plenty of time. And I just have a level of common sense. There's a certain time of year that's called calving season, and where sheep, goats like they reproduce. And taking a animal away from its mother and it hasn't been fully weaned means you have to feed them. And if you don't have the time to bottle feed that animal, then maybe you shouldn't get that animal yet until it's weaned off completely from the mother's milk and on feed, like on the bag feed. It stands to reason to me. And they felt bad. And I'm not gonna, berate them because they've already had enough negative comments in their video about it. But come on, like you're grown and you have young children. You have young babies relying on you. Do you just throw your child in daycare? Like your child's not in daycare, so why are you taking the animal away from its mother? Let the animal be weaned. Let nature do its due course, and then take the animal. Then they took the animal when it was kind of chilly. And there's no barn. There's no like the animal doesn't have its mother to keep warm. And I knew when I watched the video, I'm like, it's not gonna end well. And it didn't. It didn't end. The second video didn't end well. We need to do some more homework. Yeah, things are cute. They're fun. Oh, they're so cute and cute. You have to do some more homework. And if you're not in a climate that's suitable for a young animal to be taken away from its mother, then let them stay with its mother until they're weaned. It's just stands to reason. And all of those animals, what they got, didn't make it. Not only is it a waste of money, it's almost cruel. And it is what it is. People make mistakes. Once you make a mistake, you don't need to harbor on it. They learned a lesson. They will never forget this lesson. But this is just for conversation. If you're going to do something, especially with a living thing, you better have things in place. Don't be like, don't act like, I didn't know. That's why you do your research. You talk to farmers, you talk to people. No barn, Fifi. And they built a little makeshift thing, but the animals, the animal wasn't weaned and is relying on you to feed them. And they realized they probably were underfeeding them because we have to make better decisions. Homesteading, and even people who are experts and been homesteading for a long time, mistakes and stuff happen. But that type of mistake I'm talking about, but by getting something and you're not ready for it, that's not a mistake. That's poor choices or poor planning. And that is easily preventable. Things that happen to people on their homestead, that's different. Like some things like a snake comes in, or like wolf or a fox, or an animal gets sick randomly under your, like, that's different. But making poor choices and now making that animal suffer, that's kind of unacceptable. And that's part of the dumb dodo bird stuff. Like that was dumb. And I wouldn't tell that person to their face that, because that would hurt their feelings, but it was dumb. When I got my chickens, I did as much research as I could, especially when it came in terms of having a not non-heated coop in the winter in my zone. So I watched people who are in colder zones, and it was perfectly fine. And even though it was fine, I was checking, making sure there's ample straw, deep litter, plastic, blah, 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 blah. Making sure. In the summer, they have a fan. I know some people have a fan on them. If they want ice cubes, they'll get ice cubes. I don't care. People think it's ridiculous. I want to make sure that they're comfortable, because if they're not comfortable, there's only really one option: deterioration, sickness, and maybe. So make them as comfortable as possible. It's not costing me any more time or money to make them comfortable. I chose to bring these animals here. I'll do what is necessary to keep them comfortable. But some people think, and it's really unfortunate, but it's really unacceptable. We're grown. We need to make better decisions. If you're not ready for something, don't bring them here. Get things in place before you bring these animals into your homestead or your property or whatever you want to call it. Before you get a dog, my friend got a dog and she wanted to return the dog because the dog is very stubborn. But I said to her, you have to be more patient, and he's not responding to yelling. You have to be firm, but so he came over yesterday. She was walking him, and he's like, he sees me, he wants to jump on me, and she's like, "Sit, sit." I said, don't be known for yelling. Get him under control. She gave me the signal to make him sit. I did the signal. He sat, but as soon as he sat, he jumped and he wants to jump on me. He's happy to see me. You have to be a bit balanced, even with children. Like, you can't be known for like yelling. So don't be known for yelling. Just be consistent with his signals, and he was fine. Ignorance is not an excuse. Yeah, make sure you're ready and you have the time to care for these animals until they get used to their new home. Exactly, Fifi. But if it was somebody that I know, I wouldn't make them feel worse, because it's gonna make them feel worse. But this is what I'm saying. They ain't giving them foul no damn fat. I have I have a fan, and there's somebody else I watch. I forgot her. Arts. I forgot her first name. She had a fan, a big old industrial fan for her and her turkeys and her chickens, and they would be in front of the fan getting all breezy. I was laughing, but look who has a fan now. I got a fan. Give them a little ventilation in the coop to let the air flow. It's not really for them, but it does let the air flow. And I find that when it's hot, they do go in there because there's more current, and it makes them feel more. Yeah, making a mistake is one of the best teachers in life, for sure, D Mood. But it's unfortunate that several animals had to die with them making a mistake when it could have. They knew they weren't ready. The voice in their head, they knew, but they didn't listen to the voice in their head. And the person who sold them that shouldn't have sold them. It says, you know what? You don't have things in place. They can stay here with the mother until they're weaned and they're fully, grown, and they have that resistance to, cold weather fluctuations and blah, blah, blah. Sometimes you need to tell people no. Just like Cat Williams says, sometimes you need to tell them no. Yeah, that's a whole other topic, but we're not going to go there. But man, the pop culture is going crazy nowadays. They have their cool dust bath to bathe in. Oh no, I'm gonna get them Fan Fifi. I'm gonna get them Ice Cube this year. I'm gonna get them Ice Cube. I'm gonna get them Ice Cube. Yeah, that's to me, that's negligence. That like I think the person who sold them. Good morning, Gina. I think the person who sold them those animals. I think you have to do some better questioning with people. And if you know someone's not ready, you probably should say, you know what, you're not ready for these animals. I'm going to keep them for another few weeks until certain things are in place and until the animal is more robust before I give you these animals. This is because it's just unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. I can't say anything more. It's just unfortunate. It's upsetting. And I think it makes new homesteaders look poorly and we look incompetent. And we're not all in that category. There's many of us who are doing a lot of research and we're putting our basket where we can reach it and what we can manage. And we're taking animals that we can actually manage and not going overboard. And I think, good morning, Nest. I think that makes all new homesteaders paint us in a bad light because of things like that. And I think part of the problem is with social media is if you're working on something or doing something like, oh, I got a new something, you don't have to put it on social media. Had it not been on social media, there would not have been any need for a follow-up to say, okay, you saw these things on our homestead and now you're not going to see them. Now they have to explain why. If they didn't do that and show it, it would have just been a private mistake that they could have learned from. And but they put it on social media and everybody is going to, oh, what's this? What? And think that they deserve an answer. And that's part of the problem. When you're doing something, maybe don't put it on social media until you kind of have gotten things under, you have things under control, better control. I just don't think it was a good plan in the first place. And when I saw the video, I'm like, And when you bring new animals, like it's one thing if you're someone who knows chickens and then finally get quail. When you bring a whole new animal, there's a whole new set of things that need to be done. For instance, let's say you're going to do beef. So maybe you should mentor with someone who does beef and ask questions, help them on their property, and see what it takes to have beef. See what it takes to milk an animal, to breed an animal, to have enough pasture to graze on. Like maybe you should do some apprenticeship to really learn before you bring a brand new animal and you have no experience with the said animal on your property. And a lot of people are more than happy to let you come and see what's going on before you just go and get that animal. Then again, the person selling the animals, that's what sorry. The person selling the animals could have been lied to or just, if that person who sold them saw that video, I'm 100% sure they're going to be more selective when they sell them an animal and make sure that things are in place. Because even though you're selling them your animal, I'm just picturing me. You care about the animals. You care about where the offspring are going. You care that they're going to have a good life, that they're going to have a good home. You care about that. I care about that. So I'm assuming most people who raise animals, whether you're going to, cull them or not, that, just because you're going to butcher an animal doesn't mean you don't care. You care, but it's just that that this is for food. It's not a pet. I'm pretty sure they were upset. I would be upset. You sent them off to have a good life and to live a full life, to grow up to their full potential. And within a couple of weeks, maybe less than a week or two, they were gone. The person was ill prepared. Ill prepared. And this needs to be something discussed in homesteading, whether it's gardening, whatever. Some things are, again, I said in the beginning, are your own fault. It's not farming. It's not homesteading. It's not The water that was poison is not the chemtrail. It's you. You were the problem, and this was your fault. And they were ill prepared and they were not ready. And if that was a goal of theirs, to get this particular animal, like I had a goal to get chickens, then do your due diligence, your research, and have things in place. I had my coop in place, but the run was not in place, but they had enough space. But the run was ready shortly thereafter once the rest of the parts that were missing in the box came in. And as you can see, they have a good size area. And this year, I'm going to give them some more vertical space and like things to climb on and stuff like that to give them a bit more vertical space and a bit more variety in there. But they have space. I understand that it's not fair to ask me to live in a box like when we had to be on home house arrest during the whole lockdown. But I want an animal to be in, like, it doesn't make sense to me. I give them what they need, give them the space that they need to have a comfortable life. And if you're not prepared and willing to do that, then maybe you should wait until you can do that before you take on this new thing on your homestead. That's all I'm saying. Get things in place first and hold people accountable, not in a judgy kind of way. Don't be condemning them. It's their, I'm sure they feel bad enough, and I know they feel bad enough, but we need to hold people accountable. If you're going to take on a new animal, you need to do research. You need to maybe get someone who knows how to do this animal, ask questions, go to their farm, do a lot of research. If there's classes, but don't just say, I'm going to get this animal, bring it here, and oops, it did. That's I'm sorry. That's not acceptable in my opinion. Even though I didn't see the video, I'm happy this video was shown. People need to be aware and understand that it takes proper planning to care for livestock. Correct. Correct. And when you're taking on an animal that needs to be bottle fed, because I know I watched a farmer, there's a couple of big farmers that I've watched. And I know from watching them, there are times when the mother, um, what's the word, rejects the offspring. They may have had two, like especially sheep, they may have had two, and they just somehow reject one or reject both. I don't know why. There's no rhyme or reason. And when they reject one of them, they have to quickly catch it, and then they have to bottle feed that, whatever it's called, a calf or lamb. I know the ewes the mother, the lamb. Sometimes another mother might adopt it. No guarantee. Same with goats, maybe even cow. Sometimes the mother rejects the animal for whatever reason and will not allow it to nurse. If that happens, the farmer has to manually feed that animal. That means several times a day, you got to stop what you're doing to make sure that animal is fed for it to survive. That's taking away time from your day. And that's a farmer who has mothers that are nursing their own offspring. You're taking on, as a new homesteader and a new animal, you're taking on an animal that's going to require to be bottle fed. I didn't understand why they made that decision and not say, when it's weaned, then I'll take the animal. I just don't get it. That is a question that they'll have to answer themselves. And I'm glad they have the videos out, people can learn from it. But this is what people need to understand. It's hard enough having a new animal. But I think what set them over the edge for failure was that they took an animal that required bottle feeding. And if nature is doing it for you, the animal, the mother's doing it for you, why would you take it away so early? Let the animal be weaned naturally. That means it's now been transferred onto straw, hay, feed, whatever they're, and then now all you gotta do is bring them over to your farm and feed them the bag feed. Why would you want to take on, and then anyways, I'm not gonna go to, because you might figure out who it is. Just trust and believe that it was not a good situation. And I enjoy their content, but it was very sad. Why would you have? I don't know. And maybe the person did not know that they were so ill equipped. That's what Fifi was saying, that they were so ill equipped. You know, just because you're good at chickens doesn't mean you're going to be good at other animals. And you can be good, but you need to take the proper time to learn before you bring these animals onto your property. because it's not like, hi, can I return it? Can I send it back? It's not a something from Wally World. Like this is a whole animal. We bottle fed calves and goats. Hold on, sheep growing up. So this had been happening for ages. This is 2024. We have to do better and prepare your part. Yeah, correct. And we've had to bottle feed things in the past, but only when the mother rejected, just said, I don't want it. Like, I don't know what signal they get in their brain. They just don't want to nurse the child. And we've seen that happen. I think most people have seen that happen. But I've never seen somebody buy an animal that hasn't been weaned. That to me doesn't make any sense. It just sounds crazy to me. So something is lacking in the knowledge base of this individual. They didn't know, because I would never willingly take on an animal that's not weaned. That takes a lot of time. I know a person who fosters kittens and stuffed animals from the animal shelter because of whatever, and they have to bottle feed some kittens, and then they have to go to the vet and get things done, and they have to work like. But this is what they're doing to help, with their love for animals. They help work with the animal shelter. So they know what they're taking on. And it's a lot of time. Why would you want to take that on as like a homesteader thinking that this is going to be part of my no, that's a full-time job. And you have other animals and a family and a job. So when did you expect this to go well with all these things that I'm naming right now that are against you? Yep, you're right, Netta. That's to me, it's negligence. And back to my beginning topic, like we like to blame other people for other and blame. No, a lot of times it's our own fault. It is. And we have to swallow that pill and deal with it and make improvements, and don't let it happen again to anybody and any living creature. That is really not acceptable. There's so much information on the internet. There's so much courses and mentorships and you know, groups that you can go to really delve deep in these subjects and learn before you take it on. But sometimes we just get so excited and I want to, get to the next. No, stop. We need to stop and wait till we're ready. I want cows, goats, sheep, rabbits, chickens, turkeys, but I'll wait till I correct. My uncle got cows in Jamaica, but he was ready. And you need you need some of these skills and learn from people before you get certain animals, because you'll be paying a lot in vet bills if you don't have your own skill sets in place to fix certain problems before they become a bigger problem. And vets ain't cheap, as you already know. And a lot of the things now for animals have to go through a vet since last year. So some of the over the counter stuff you could get at the feed store are no longer available to you. So now it's going to be even more expensive. So you really need to know what you're getting into before you get into it. I've had similar conversations regarding puppies, dogs, about getting it and leaving it caged 8 to 12 hours until they got home from work. It, And I know a lot of that happened during the pandemic. Like, they were lonely, they're at home, and people got dogs and got cats and they got blah. Well, I got chickens. So, but my chickens are cared for and they're not stuck in a cage. They have their coop, they have their run, and they're in a quote unquote natural environment, but they're not roaming free. There's cats, there's dogs. This morning I saw two birds of prey flying over. I don't know what it was, a hawk or whatever, but there was two birds of prey very high, and you had to really look to see them, and they're just coasting across back and forth looking. I'm glad they're there, because these, if you can find a rodent or a rat, like, take it. Owls, I'm trying to get some owls over here, but you have to have things in place. That's all I'm saying. And my chickens are fine. They have enough room. They could do with some more room, but there's enough, and I can get two more, and that's that. Don't take on more than you can chew, and don't bring in animals that you can't take care of. Point blank, period. There's information available on the internet. So I'm going to wrap it up. Do your research. Don't be asking ridiculous questions. Seek out the books, seek out the information, and find out what you need to do. And as you delve deeper and you have questions, Find other people and other groups that can answer these questions. Maybe you join a group that for that thing, for new homesteaders, for new cattle ranchers, for new chicken keeper. There's groups that people have made for these things where you can come with these questions and ask. But just asking blanket people, oh, blah, blah, blah. No, do the work involved. That's why you're failing, because you're not doing the work and doing the research, and you want somebody else to give you the answers. Sometimes people won't be there to give you the answer in the middle of the night, or what are you going to do then? What are you going to do then? That's why you need to do as much research as possible and gain as much knowledge as possible before you make a commitment, because it's not something that you can go on Amazon and send it back. Now, enjoy your week. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others. Remember to upload your Thursday video for Herb Garden Challenge. I'm going to be dropping the videos this week for the My Gardener seed haul that I got. I got 13 things. It won't be long, but you can see what I got. I'll be doing a video on what the garden looks like as of right now, which is not very much, but you can see where I'm starting from. Make sure you support each other's channels if possible. Find some new people and watch. And my stomach is growling. I need some food. And tonight is the chat. I think it's a chat tonight. Again, my friend told me, write the announcements down so you can have the announcement like bougie. My God, because I don't remember half the stuff. I can't remember. I think the chat's on tonight, if I'm not mistaken. We'll see. And I believe Broke will be on tomorrow, because I think it's every other week. Okay, Nikki's there. Yes. So the chat is on tonight, 7:00. Broke should be on tomorrow. I can't say for sure. He will put the thumbnail up usually about noon, and he goes live at 3 p.m. And Hands in the Dirt tonight at 7:00. I think something else is going on, but I can't remember. So I'm gonna have to make a list, because really and truly, some people are taking some breaks off of going live. So yeah, hit the thumbs up button. But you'll see some videos on Thursday for the Herb Garden Challenge. If you haven't grown anything, if you're not in the challenge, it doesn't matter. Just drop some seeds. Some of the herbs are so easy to grow. Like, I don't think anybody can fail at basil. If you have not grown basil, whatever you want to call it, I don't think you can fail at basil. It will germinate so easily. I don't think you can fail at lettuce. So grow some lettuce. I don't think you can fail at catnip. That's doing fine. Dandelion, like, you can't really fail. Grow what you like, though. Don't grow just random things. And make sure that you're collecting as much seeds as you can from your crops. Make sure you're collecting. Auntie Ellen is going live. I believe she goes live before the chat, so it's probably 6:00, give or take. Broke Sunday at 3, yes. So but the thumbnail's not going to be up yet, but you'll see them on Sunday. And I'm here all week. You'll see me in the week popping in on different people's lives, and you'll see me. Yeah. Okay. So take care. Nightbot, I don't know if it's working. I don't think it's working. I'm gonna have to get that back connected again, and we'll take it care. We'll take it back next week once I get it reset, because you could drop your link. I don't think it's working anymore. But drop some seeds, guys, and collect your seeds. Oh, good. Hey, Unbiased. Make sure things are getting expensive. Go to the store, or next time you go shopping, see the prices of healthy food, not junk food, produce, and see how high the prices are getting. And tell me you can't afford to go buy a tree. Peace out.